What's happening?
Yeah, buddy.
He was away, handsome brother. You know how you do.
What's up with y'all, man?
Man, everything is beautiful over here.
Yes, sir. Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
It's a beautiful thing. I love that we're kicking this thing off with the super chats. Shout out to Philip Sadiq. Let me tell you something, man. We were just having this conversation amongst us, which a lot of times we do. What happens is this content does not get supported as much as the simppocalypse provoking content gets supported, right? We can sit up here and say, ladies, you know what? Everything that you do is absolutely right. But, you know, these fellas out here, they got to do better. Now, we do a whole lot of fellas got to do better because we do that. But we can't make this happen without your support. So super chats, cash apps, sharing is free, liking, commenting, subscribing. If you're not subscribed to all four of us, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't go nowhere on three wheels. You might be able to go somewhere on two wheels. That's a bike, but you're going to crash. This here is a tank. And it's time. It's time to have the conversation. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
What's going
Doing
on?
great, man. Doing great. Thank you. And you
Doing
know,
good.
Dave is 100% correct. We were just talking about this in the green room before we got started. Darwin put together a really great intro, and I really like the infographics there. He breaks down all the details. What Dave said is 100% true, man. The algorithm is what it is. Certain types of content kind of get first dibs. But it's very important for Black men, if you want to see what it is that we and others throughout the manosphere is doing, it's very important that you support what we're doing and share it and spread it and help to underwrite it. This is made possible. I'm going to do the NPR piece. This is made possible by the generosity of viewers just like you. Hit that super chat button, the Cash App button. Many brothers have been trying to get a hold of the Gospel of St. Kevin Samuels. And you can get that. I'm gonna put the information up here tonight, so you'll be able to get that. As a matter of fact, if you buy it while we're on the air, I will sign it live on the air for you. $100 signed, 75 unsigned. I'm gonna put the information in the chat so Darwin can post that up. But please support what it is that we're doing. That's very important. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I know y'all seen the title, the tagline, and all that stuff. Just in the chat, if y'all ever heard Black Men Ain't, put a one in the chat so we could just get a consensus on everybody being able to relate to what's about to take place on this live.
I believe Darwin and Jeff might be a little frozen up there. I believe.
Are we frozen?
Not on my watch.
Yeah,
I'm looking
it's
good
not.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks good on my end, but
Okay. So we got
Uh-oh.
we got
Somebody
the ones in
already
the chat.
dropped
That
through.
is great.
Somebody's up the super chat already, and the ones is pulling in. There we go. So a
Listen.
lot of people heard this, man.
Y'all
A
coming
lot of
through.
Yeah, the ones are coming through, and I appreciate everybody on my side. I'm seeing it live on my end as well. And shout out to you, Trey, man, for the Trey 305. I think it's 305. The Fantastic Four is back. Yeah, man. Appreciate you for the $20, bro. And this is exciting. And I think this is a really, really relevant conversation that most of us have heard at some point over the course of our lives. And then I think when the internet kind of came about, we've heard this a lot. There's a lot of complaints. There's a lot of issues, and a lot of women have been extremely, extremely frustrated towards men in the dating market. And I think a lot of times in these types of panels and conversations, typically what happens, whether it's a group of women or a group of men, everybody just pick a side, right? Mm-hmm. They just pick a side and say, nah, we it's all the women's fault. It's all the men's fault. And we, the four of us kind of collaborating about this, I think if we do a really good deep dive where we really look at some of the most popular complaints that the ladies have, and we're gonna try to separate it. Do they have legitimate grievances in certain respects? I'm sure. And do they also have some things that they're blaming men for that maybe is more misdirected resentment and more of a reflection of their own decisions and choices? So, we think that, leaving it up to the men that just panders or leaving it up to men that never want to hold men accountable, I think we all are in agreement. This is probably an appropriate conversation. Darwin, did you want to read that super chat?
Shout out to Reggie Johnson. My man said, "Cook brothers." I see you got the suit on with the shades on. Good look. Yeah, so we about to get into it. Put on your objective thinking caps and let's run it. Okay. Do we got a clip first, or you gonna just go down to?
Listen, man, you could start with a clip, and we could just jump from there.
All right, so we got a couple of clips. We're gonna play the first one.
He said I got a domestic violence case.
Did she swing first? Like, what happened?
Full story, like what happened?
I'm super like
the fact that y'all even asked that question
because I'm saying if I have a son,
I'm not biased. Like,
if I have a son, you're not gonna come to me and So did she swing first? Like, what happened?
Did she break up your stuff? Did she bash your car?
I need the whole full story as to how.
That's a valid follow up. Like usually women would just be like, "Damn, like what you did?" Like,
because I know that the system can be abused these days, right?
Put your hands on you. Be putting your hands on men.
Excuse me.
You heard me.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll put my. You open that. I put my hands on my nigga. The one that's in there right now, he know what time it is, and I'm 4'11", he's 6'3", and I'll be like, and he be liking it, so I'll be loving it. You like it, I love it. Listen, and that makeup be big 3 boo.
Toxic. That is toxic.
Shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew.
Yeah,
man.
They're doing great work up there in Brooklyn.
Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, matter of fact, Jeff, you was on a Daily Wrap Up crew, right?
Yeah, Dave was on there, and then I found my way to get lucky enough to pull up to them fellas up in New York, and it was a fun time, man. I think we just passed Dave by like 2.5, 3 hours worth of conversation.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just barely. Because listen,
Yeah.
when I got something to say, but I can't wait for. That's one thing we do need to do. I think all four of us need to pull up the Daily Wrap Up crew and really.
That would be a good idea. That would be a great idea.
The four will converge in Brooklyn. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could happen.
We bringing the table. We are setting the table. We are sitting down and we're having these conversations. But yeah, man.
So real quick, everybody that's currently watching from any of our particular channels or platforms that we're kind of showing this, if you guys can, please make sure that you subscribe to all of our platforms, both on YouTube and other platforms as well. And guys, make sure that you engage with the chat just to let us know that you're even there and watching. And most importantly, that you like this particular stream and send it to 2, 3, 4, even 5 people. Fellas, this particular clip was very, very interesting to me because although it was a kind of little funny back and forth between the guys and the girls or whatever, that last chick that Eli was talking to, where she was like kind of making it known, like, oh, I can put my hands on my guy. Yeah, I can put my hands on the guy, or, you know, he knows what time he knows what time it is. And like this whole banter of like acknowledging that there's some type of acknowledgement that perhaps that there's physical altercations that can go on or is likely to go on. Choosing the same archetype of man. And one of the things that I think when ladies say men aren't ish is the ladies that end up in situations like this, where they're totally comfortable with people putting their hands on each other. Sometimes he's initiating, sometimes she's initiating. And then when ish hits the fan, or he goes to prison, or she gets a black eye or a tooth missing, now all of a sudden when she comes back out to the dating market, what's her message about the quality of men that's out there? When you think about what she's invested, what she's given, what she's trusted, and what she's endured, what happens if this is her archetype? What is this? What if it's her? She likes the rough guy. Mm-hmm. She likes the guy that puts her in her place, right? Like, but not on some whole just with words, but with his actual, you know, physicality,
right? Or
the ones that they like to challenge a little bit just to get it to that point. Mm-hmm. A lot of ladies that say men ain't ish, they look and sound and act just like this woman. Mm-hmm. They're picking men that they know is bad and have problems. They're picking men that either tolerate bad behavior in them or brings out bad behavior in them. And then they end up trying to place that on the market of the dating market of men, especially black men. And I'm like, exactly. Yes, it's the fault of the man that puts his hand on a woman. He ain't ish. But please tell me that's not the only man that's like that you've been dealing with. More often than not, both as a therapist and then personally, a lot of ladies that go through a lot of drama with men is usually not a one-off. Tell me what y'all thoughts, bro.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you, Jeff. I think that I was just talking about something I was reading over our notes for the day, and one of the points that jumped out at me was something I was talking about earlier today with some ladies. And, you know, the whole idea of, you know, the big, you know, 50-50 discussion in Black love discourse, and how a lot of Black women are not amenable to that because they say it's unfair. They not only have to kick in on the bills, but they also have to do the housework and you know, deal with the children. Fair enough. I have no issue with that. My question becomes, well, if you're a sister that considers yourself to have it together, with school, good job, run a business, your own car, got your own house, et cetera, how did you wind up with a brother that is so inconsiderate and selfish? I don't understand how that works. Now, the argument goes, well, that's Black men today. I said, wait a minute, hold it. You mean to tell me all the Black men are inconsiderate and selfish? That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that. Because that's not my orientation, is to expect you to kick in half on all the bills, plus you got to do all the housework. If we have children, that's not my orientation. I'm not thinking that way. And I've been a Black man for a very long time. So I don't accept that. At what point, if you want to tell me that there are brothers that are inconsiderate, irresponsible, profligate, deceitful, selfish, you get no argument from me.
None.
My problem is if you're a sister that's got yourself together, and I'll grant the one-off. Fine. You had a one-off. I'll give you that. If you got a recurring pattern of these type of men in your life, how does that happen? How do you that got your act together keep running into brothers that don't? Let me turn it around real quick. There are brothers online, and I've talked about this before. People that have followed me for a long time know what I'm about to say. There are brothers online. Many of them are really good at what they do. I call them thought content creators because all they talk about is thoughts. Thought this, thought that. And my thinking is that, okay, fair enough, brother. I'm with you on that. You want to tell me that there are thoughts out there? Fine. But if all you talk about is thoughts, at some point, I'm going to start thinking to myself, oh, well, okay, brother, I get what you're saying, but I mean, you're just a little too enthusiastic about it. I mean, you talking with a little too much vim and vigor about it. I mean, this is starting to make me think that this is beyond just a professional interest or academic interest, that this is coming from a deep well of personal experience. And if that is the case, then the next question I got to ask, brother, is why is it you keep attracting thoughts into your life? I'll give you the one-off thought. Fair enough. Fine. I'll give you that. Thought number 2, thought number 3, thought number 4, thought number 5. Now I got to start looking at you, brother. Because see, my thinking is this: when you change your frequency, you change your output, you're going to get a different input. I'm not going to allow myself to be among sisters that are considered to be thoughts. I consider myself a gentleman, so I'm not going to be with no lady of the evening. That ain't me. I'm going to deal with a sister that's a lady. I'm a gentleman. She's a lady. She's going to comport herself as such. I'm going to comport myself as such. That's how we're going to operate. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to curate my life to a degree that the thoughts don't even think about coming over here. They don't even think about it. It's not a consideration. So that's what I say to the brothers. So now I got to come back to the sisters. Listen, if you want to tell me that there are brothers that are irresponsible, selfish, et cetera, fair enough. How come you keep attracting them though? What's that all about?
That's what I was going to say real quick. What we're saying when we're kind of describing this thing of like men ain't this and men ain't that, some of this legitimately comes from, yes, the man that's beating on you, the man that's cheating on you, the man that's doing whatever, he isn't. But like Obsidian was saying, man, let's start with the basics. The thought process for a lot of these ladies are, he cheated, so men cheat. He lied, so men lie. And that's not even moving towards pattern recognition. That's just overgeneralization from psychologist Aaron Beck. That's all this is. They're overgeneralizing on the population. And I'm like, that's a classic cognitive distortion. And the worst part about it is, once you go into it with that thought, how are you then going to approach future men? Are your walls going to go down or are they going to go up? Are you going to be more trusting or less trusting? Are you going to be more feminine or more aggressive? And then that starts that starts the issue. Because all the men that have their ish together, all the men that recognize that they have a lot of things worth, that they're bringing to the table, now they'll stay away from her because she feels she's coming off like damaged goods. And then the worst part is the guys that's left are the ones she won't respect, or the ones that like that back and forth immaturity. We gonna clash and fight all the time because we like to turn each other on and trigger each other and trauma bond and everything. That's the pool of men that she has left based on who she's become because of overgeneralization. So that's why for me, where it's like, I think it was a good clip you started with, Darwin, just to start the framework. So many of the ladies that saying men ain't ish, they're broken and they're bitter, and because of bad decision making, it's blurring it's shaping the filter they're using to kind of look at the dating market.
And I just want to give a shout out to y'all too for greasing her up before me and Dave got to her. She ain't gonna even be worth nothing by the time we get in the room with her. Sometimes y'all gotta let off of us, so y'all gotta share. Well, let me give a shout out to my man over there in Daily Wrap Up crew just came in the building. the $50. Hey, shout out to the guys. Keep up the great content. It's much.
Shout out to Jew, Ace, and of course, you already know Eli. Why, Eli? We take that 50. Listen, keep them cards and letters coming. Keep them super chats coming.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
The Daily Wrap Up crew.
Yeah,
and
we're pulling up on y'all.
Perception is reality, gentlemen. Have you heard about nightclubs and dating events charging women for entry and letting men in free due to lack of male attendees? It seems it's become popular amongst Black social events. That is tough.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Darwin, real quick. Apparently, all men ain't ish if they paying money now to find them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you wouldn't be going to all these dating events and meetups and paying money now to meet men if all the men ain't ish. So apparently, I'm starting to also realize maybe there's a crack in the sisterhood, because this talking point ain't working no more. When Valentine's Day after Valentine's Day, y'all keep coochie bumping and doing these Valentine's Day situations. At some level, we got to acknowledge that maybe it isn't just all men are bad. Maybe it's the quality of men that you're attracted to and drawn to that's causing you to feel this way. So shout out to Perception Reality 6769 for the $9.99, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. We got Trey 5305, $10. Listen, I raised my hand when it comes to the promiscuous women. I've enjoyed them. My issue is the hypocrisy when it comes to men's body count versus women. I would say to that, I think if you
I didn't know it was a hypocrisy there. That's a new one to me.
Well, they try to run that argument, but then if you ask them, would they rather want to deal with a man who's a virgin or a man who got some experience, it's the likelihood of them choosing a man who got experience is drastically high.
Mm-hmm. So cool. No doubt about it. Yeah.
Shout out to you, Trey.
Yeah.
King Julian, keep up the good work, brothers. Much love and respect.
Appreciate you.
Go ahead, David. Like you about to get in.
Yeah. Okay. So let's deal with this straight up and down. If in fact you keep picking the same archetype, the denominator here is not men; it's your cravings. Let's just call it. Let's call it what it is. I am not a person, as a Philadelphian and as a person who does not really believe in nonsense, grifting, or BS. Tend to quote Dr. Umar, but on this one, I will. 9 times out of 10. In your 20s, you messing with the thugs and the dudes who rob liquor stores. And in your 30s, you're messing with the pretty boys. And then in your 40s, now all of a sudden it's stepdaddy season. None of that has anything to do with us. And it has to do with what you like, because you think that excitement equals quality. And then the other part of that is patterns. And you're not going to like this, ladies. Patterns don't mean all men are trash. And keep in mind, this is a person who was trash at one point. Not going to hold you. I was not always the boyfriend, fiance, husband that I am now. Not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I think all of us can say that, because we're trying to get you to see that this isn't a holier than thou talk. This is, we know better. We're doing better because we want better for everyone. But like I said, patterns do not mean that all men are trash. What patterns mean is you're completely, willfully ignoring red flags like they're optional terms and conditions. And then you get mad when we start telling you that what you're doing is a 5th grade science experiment. I can change him. He just needs my love. I'll let him drive my car while I'm working all day. And when he's sitting around playing PS5, you are creating that environment. And then also what you concentrate on, you're going to attract. So if you concentrate on men ain't ish, or if you go looking for every single flaw you can find, you're going to find them and then some. At some point, unless there's something going on that you're into that I can't understand from a permission standpoint, the choice is still yours. The option to say yes falls on you. It's our job to ask. It is our job to pursue. You have to ask yourself, where are you meeting them? If you met Pookie at, the local crawfish boil, or you met him at the club, that's on you. And as a person who was a club promoter, I will tell you, you will bypass a string of good guys for the guy that everybody knows is smashing absolutely everybody. If I'm lying, I'm flying. None of us have ever been to a nightclub together.
No.
But notice how no one is saying, Dave, that's wrong. I've never seen that.
Facts.
I've lived in 34 cities in 19 states. I have done syndicated radio. I have done television. I have seen this firsthand. I am the godson of club owners. I was a club promoter in at least 10 states. And I'm talking nightclub. I'm talking day party club. I'm talking strip club. And the thing is still the thing. At the end of the day, the choices that are made are yours and yours alone. And you want the guy who looks like he's going to rob liquor stores until you get your brains or your heart smashed in. And then all of a sudden, Mike Jones starts playing. Back then, those didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all own me. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me how I'm wrong. I'll take it.
Hey,
Dr. Tia Johnson.
Hey, what's going on, Doc? That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, Doc, for the $9.99 showing love, man. And everybody, if you're not subscribed to his channel, please make sure that you do
immediately.
Yeah, he is absolutely he is one of the few that gives us the proper language to analyze and understand these dynamics between men and women, and helping us to give a language to the male experience that we grew up not even knowing we needed.
Yes.
So, you know, shout out to Dr. Tia Johnson, man, one of the GOATs in this space, man. But Darwin, what do you think about this video and this particular topic?
Well, this particular topic, I share the same sentiment with y'all, but this lady in this video, she said something interesting. She said that, yeah, she hit her man from time to time and that he likes it. So whenever you, like I said before, put on your objective thinking cap, you can conclude that a lot of people don't move by the same standards or morals as you. She has found a man and she's tested whether she can chastise him within a relationship and continue to be able to stabilize the connection. She's able to do that. And it just corroborates what I typically push. It's all about outcomes, consequences, and evaluating the incentives of being in a relationship. She's done that. She's in a relationship with somebody who's willing to tolerate it. Who am I to tell her that she shouldn't be able to hit him whenever that man in that house is allowing it? So a lot of the things, if you flip it, a lot of the things that y'all are doing, y'all are enabling behavior. Y'all are not checking it down when y'all recognize it and connect it with a negative influence or impact on stabilizing your relationship, and y'all not doing anything about it. So how do you expect the man to react to that? If you want better, if you're not communicating that, if you're not setting these boundaries, or you're not even communicating expectations early on so that you don't have to deal with this, and then you end up getting into a situation where y'all break up and now you want to jump from a different partner or man, you start overlapping your negative experiences onto the next guy, which is unfair. So I think overall, it's about choosing the same type of partner repeatedly. And then you start to generalize experience to all men. And then on top of that, you get on social media and you start consuming outrage-driven relationship content. See, that's another one. Your algorithm is full of it. So it's giving you confirmation that what your experience is actually true. And that can be toxic because you're not exposed to a different perspective or a different alternative. So you have to have that objective thinking cap. So and we hear a lot of y'all are complaining, like you say men avoid emotional responsibility, women carrying a mental load in relationships, and we're gonna get to that. I don't want to jump the gun, but this overgeneralization is one of the biggest issues that's plaguing dating, modern dating specifically today. It's just overgeneralizing. You can't touch everybody, you can't talk to everybody, you can't DM everybody, you can't date everybody.
Nope.
So why would you overgeneralize everybody and put everybody in the group? Judge people on their individuality. And that's my 2 cents on that.
Nah, man, I definitely receive and respect that. And you're right, both sides are doing it. And the male version of this is the juice isn't worth the squeeze. When they're referencing women, when they say like they've just officially checked out dealing with any and all women. And I'm like, all right, guys, like, we got to acknowledge, like, so all women are acting like Cardi B? All women are acting like City? Come on, bro. Like, and I think there's a combo of, there is the hypergamous issue, right? Where a lot of ladies believe that average women don't believe that average men are at their level. So that there's some merit to that for why I think these guys are having such a tough time. But man, to be honest, bro, like, yeah, what was about to say?
I'm glad you are mentioning that, because it's brothers like you and I, Dave, and City, and many others.
Mm-hmm.
We don't bottleneck our content to be able to appeal to the dopamine hit a lot of our audiences. Like, especially, let's just say, for example, like I got a 90% male audience, and I go on some other panels and they want me to show up and represent men strong. But whenever it comes to a particular topic on just saying all women aren't worthy, all women are 304s, I'm like, I can't do that part.
No,
because out of credibility and integrity for what I represent as a man and where I come from, that is just not the case. And I've done too much research on both sides of the fence, and I have not run into that. So I'm not going to push that. And it's hard because you see other people that you like and you want to check them on it, but you're like, you know what, man, I can't do that on his platform. You know, you might, you know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of pull off. And that's why I kind of don't, that's why I'm real picky on who I involve myself with. And I'm glad I'm able to be around a bunch of y'all, because I got a wife. Imagine me saying, yeah, all hoes. And then I walk in the door like, did you include me?
Yep. And you listen, your meal, your dinner.
Bruh.
Weird. Like, don't do that, brother. You have a good situation. So ain't no need to mess it up.
I can't do that, bro. I'm sorry.
No. And let me say this, man. And I will tell you, the sacrifices and the effort that people tend to applaud me for is in no small part due to my wife. The version of me that you love so much, or you just think is so great, is because of me having a whole lot of what I like to call private board meetings in my bedroom and saying, hey, what do you think of this? I remember waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I go, Janae, she's like, I'm like, yo, I got an idea. She's like, what is it? I'm like, BullyCon. She was like, yeah, you gonna do that shit. And then I did that shit. Like, I'm not going to sit up there and categorize my wife and a myriad of women I know who are of her ilk that are out here being, you know, great examples and having to deal with all the complications that come with dealing with a man like myself, or like Darwin, or like Jeff, you know, or you know, to me, it's a situation where we've got to be very honest, because these are the same women that will talk about, well, it's a sweeping generalization and you can't paint with a broad brush. No, you can't. But by that same token, why is your brush the size of a pinhead? Why is it so narrow? And then, listen, wherever you go, there you are. When I realized that, and this is just me talking, when I realized that it's not good to be alone, it is not good to conquer absolutely everything and then have nobody to share it with. Like, I look at my kids and I'm like, yo,
yeah,
it's no longer about me. The problem, and I'm not going to jump ahead because I don't know if you have this on your thing, but if I don't say this, I'm doing us and every person watching this a disservice. The problem with a lot of women, generally speaking, is they tend to play for their first and middle name and chop off their last name.
Wow.
Men, we're athletes. Even those of us who is about as coordinated as a Rorschach puzzle. We play for our last name. When you watch the NBA, the NFL, MLB, hockey, it does not matter what you're watching. The last name goes on the jersey. And where is it? It's on the back, because men play for their last name and they put their families on their back. How many women do you know, if you would just scroll down anywhere, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case may be, and you can clip this if you like it. I know you ain't going to like it. How many women whose last names you don't know because they act like their last name is Michelle, Nicole, Lachey, Michaela? It is not Jenkins, Johnson, Lewis, Anderson, McPherson. Because it's not about the collective. It's about I, me, mine. My friend, the late, great Paul Mooney says, a lot of these people out here are just opera singers. Every time they go out, they go me, 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 me. And that in and of itself is the thing. When I thought as a child, I acted like a child. I behaved like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And it is childish to start playing for yourself. It's my time. I'm going to do this. And then do it by yourself and be quiet about it. Mm-hmm. See, when men build, and this is not on no Steve Harvey think like a man 90-day BS. When men build, we build it, and then we tell you that we built it. Typically, when women build, you tell everybody what you're going to do and wonder why your sister girlfriends are sabotaging your plans everywhere you go. Where are you playing? What is the arena? And are you planning for the rest of your life, or are you planning for a good Saturday night? These are questions you just ponder out in that 2 square feet of real estate between your ears, and I land.
You know what's funny, though? The amount of gems that we just pushed in the first 37 minutes.
Hey.
And shout out to everybody that's present. Do y'all honestly believe that it's going to be a change based off of, if we continue to push this message, because of how, like, we got so many people or so many influencers and all that stuff we're fighting against? I think somebody just super chatted. Shout out to Perception is Reality, $20. I seen a brother, tonight's conversation. I seen a brother on tonight's convo show speak to the panel about how women's choices after Black kids in the communities. One guy with a messed up grill said, who made him the
coochie police?
Okay. It was a sad gaslighting. It was sad gaslighting the man.
Yeah, because you allow it. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm shutting up after this. I'm not going to say nothing for the next 12 minutes. You allow it. And that's what you want to hear. A lot of times the dopamine comes from people telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And what he was saying, what that gentleman was saying was, hey, when do your choices factor in to the problems that you say that you have? And he stood up there just like again, and I'm not trying to bash anybody. I don't know them people. I can only go by the fruit that I see them bear. And they're packing out all types of places with this rhetoric that you have absolutely everything that happens to you is not your fault. You're a victim. You're literally a victim. Who made you the coochie police? We're men. We've always been the coochie police, not because we're trying to control you, but we want a certain level of quality. We don't even mind that you happen to be low mileage certified pre-owned, because we understand that you had a life, and sometimes we all make bad choices. Every man at this table has made bad choices that we regret. However, we don't sit around and ruminate in those bad choices. We get up, we move forward, we wipe the slate clean, and we go about our business. But when you go to these programs, and again, that's your right. I'm not judging you. But when you go there looking for legitimate answers, that's like me trying to get philosophy from the guy dressed as Chuck E. Cheese when my kid wants a pizza and to play some video games.
Yeah.
But you're free to do that. And you're free to pay for that 500 VIP. Listen, I hope that when the men's table goes on tour, you pay for those VIPs too. I'm here for it. The difference is none of us, if you look, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm not going to speak for Mumia, I'm not going to speak for Darwin, and I'm damn sure not going to speak for Jeff, but none of us are wearing white, none of us have ears up to here, and none of us have black around our eyes, so we're not pander bears. Mm-hmm. We are men, and men want a woman that they can walk in a room with and everybody has it smashed out. Nobody wants to be married to the set out chick. That's it.
The door for the church is open.
Shout out to my guy, Omni Design Studio.
Woo! Ooh, that's $25 a piece, fellas. Hey, we can get a 2-piece tonight.
Shout out to Omni Design Studio. Who he hail from? You over there with you, Jeff? That's your name?
No, that's not me.
Who's that, Dave?
If it is, I'm impressed.
I think that's Dave.
That's you, Dave. Go and read that, Dave.
Listen, Omni Design Studio 4966 with a $100 super chat says, shout out to all these gems being spoken today. Keep up the great positive work. It's the fight we're in. It's the fight that we've chosen, and that's why we're together, all 4 of us. Thank you for the love.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
We're honored and grateful.
$100 is a lot, y'all. So
in this economy, it's huge. It's big.
Yeah, especially with gas prices going up.
One of the things I've been thinking about with this topic coming up, and I wanted to throw this at Obsidian, man, cheating when this is probably numero uno for why it is that most women, when they say men ain't ish, this is what they're actually talking about. Rampant cheating, rampant disrespect, risking women's bodily health. From your vantage point, if we weighed both the percentage of men that have cheated or are cheating, as well as women that are cheating or have engaged in cheating, as well as again, the type of men that women tend to gravitate towards, which Dave and others have mentioned, they're typically drawn to the guy that they know has access to a lot of women. A lot of women want them, and they just want to be one of the ones that's picked and chosen. From your vantage point, what's your opinion about cheating in relation to this discussion about men ain't ish?
A very legitimate question, and we talked about this last week, so I'm happy to revisit it. My view is that cheating has no place in a healthy, productive relationship or marriage for a very simple reason, because you are breaking a promise. Be that, if in front of, the officiant of your choice, city hall, whatever religious building or what have you that you're at, or be it just a simple agreement between a man and a woman that they agree they're going to be together. It's going to be, the parameters of that are going to be, it's only going to be sexually exclusive. We're only going to have intimacies with each other. Cheating breaks that, and it has harmful side effects on everybody. When children are involved, there's been a lot of studies on this. When children are involved, they're negatively impacted. I think the average affair costs about $4,000 on average. The average affair, last time I checked. So there's a financial hit there, like you said earlier. The STD factor, which is significant in the Black community. That's a public health concern. It's not just affecting those two people, the people involved, but they're having intimacies with other people, that you can multiply that out. That could be a problem. Children born of affairs. We talked about this last week with the late Reverend Jesse Jackson, to wit. He had an affair and a child was born of that. So, all of these factors, all of these are in the mix, and it's not good. I don't condone it. I don't endorse it. I don't roll any brother that I know for a fact is cheating on his wife. I got to take a step back from that, brother. I can't support that. What I mean? Because what message am I sending if it looks like I'm good with that? I can't get down with that. So yeah, the sisters have a legitimate point. The Institute for Family Studies, anybody can look this up for themselves. They determined that Black men, I'm not proud of this, but it's the truth, cheat more than white, Hispanic, or Asian men. Roughly 30% have admitted to cheating on their wife. That's very disturbing to me. The situation with Derek Jackson some years back, that was deeply disturbing to me. And what really bothered me about that, because I just got finished saying my own ethos on this. What really bothered me about that was that his compatriots at the time refused to denounce him. They just, what they did was that they just quietly backed away from him as if nothing ever happened. But they refused to openly denounce him. See, my thinking is, I have a responsibility. If we're going to be doing business together, we're in the public eye, and you do something like that in such a blatant and egregious manner that he did, I have a moral responsibility to come to party. Listen, I apologize on behalf of all the brothers here. We apologize to that, and we have to let you know that we don't support his behavior there. That does not speak for us. We have to distance and disassociate ourselves from that, because that's not what we're about. They didn't do that. They just act like he didn't exist. So I'm looking at them sideways now. I'm like, well, so what are we saying here? Black men do have a responsibility. They do to Look, if that's where you at with it, I mean, you do what you do, but I can't be seen endorsing that type of ill repute behavior. I can't do that.
No.
Can't do that.
We got another big donor. Let's address that really quick.
The door to the church is
My guy.
It's $200,
Yes, sir. We're cooking tonight, brother. The International Quiet Storm. Appreciate you, sir, for the $100. KS is smiling on the discussions that are transpiring tonight. This panel, I can definitely support. I've been watching Darwin since Sir Hale Super Sundays in 2022. New sub to Jeff and Old Man. You already know what it is. KS Mod Gang. Absolutely, bro. We appreciate
We
you.
appreciate that,
man. That's
Appreciate
currently
that,
watching.
man.
So real quick, man, for everybody that's currently watching, this is a really, really dope conversation for all of you men that's watching to send to the women in your life. It really is, because if you want women to have a different perspective of what's actually happening in the manosphere and not just assume that it's all the worst things imaginable, this is the type of conversation where you can kind of give them a sneak peek in the barbershop, where, you know, they can kind of watch, listen, and see that there actually is men that's acknowledging and talking about these things, and even coming clean about things that we may have struggled with. And I'll be the first to talk about this particular topic. When I look back, that's probably my first and second biggest regrets in the women that I've dealt with from high school till my current marriage is the fact that there were so many women who I realized their only value in my eyes was sex. And when you repeatedly keep training your brain to think that way, what ends up happening is when you do get with a woman that is of quality or does have certain traits that you can truly see as like, yo, she kind of wifey. Like you've trained your body to not not be able to delay gratification. You trained your mind to always be able to say yes to your carnal desires. And then what ends up happening is you end up damaging these women, not just for you. You end up damaging many of these women for the next man.
Facts.
And you know, and that's probably like my biggest regret, because for the women that I did that with, I wasn't ish. I really was a joker, right? And in my head, you know, I thought I looked at it through the lane of, and I'm realizing it now. I much rather prefer guys can just stay faithful, or they're open and clear with the ladies of what their role is and where they are on the list. I think that if we can walk with integrity in that, there are women that will sign up for either of those options.
I mean, look at Neo's 4 women.
Yeah, listen, so a great example I'm about to use, and I'm glad you used that example, Cardi B. All right. So Cardi B can choose a rapper who she knows that all that comes with him, you know, get married to him, leaves him for cheating, and then runs to Stefan Diggs while he got multiple other women pregnant as well. I think it's 3. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so 2 things are going on here. You have the accountability side of men that's playing games or, you know, being, you know, irresponsible or, you know, potentially cheating. And then you have women that keep picking those same types of men anyway.
Yeah.
So even in this discussion about quote unquote cheating, yes, the person that's cheating is ultimately responsible. But if there's certain very obvious red flags that Dave was saying that you keep overlooking, if the last 3, 4, 5 guys cheated on you, either something south of the border ain't working, or you're attracted to a certain type of man that you know most of the women want as well. And hasn't demonstrated the discipline to justify why you're in an actual relationship or marriage or giving him children.
Yeah.
That's a huge. You're saying all these guys ain't ish and all these guys are trash. Let's look at your Carfax. Let's look at your background check. Is every job you've been to, you got fired? I'm gonna start having questions. One job, I hear that. 2 jobs, I get that too. The last 8, maybe it ain't just all men are cheaters. Maybe you just like cheaters. I don't know.
Yeah.
You going?
Oh, you going, Dave, or you want me to?
No. He said, Darwin, you go. I can hold it.
So all I'm gonna say is this, man. With this cheating thing, yes, it's wrong, but we cannot act like today's men and women have redefined what cheating is. So now it's a slippery slope. Now it's like, wow, I didn't realize I was cheating. I mean, I was being inappropriate. Now that's cheating. Liking a photo,
liking a photo.
Emotional cheating,
financial
cheating. Like, I think we as a group of men with the level of intellect we have should, create a little bit of space right now to be able to accurately define what infidelity is, how to handle it, and also address the other side to it that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is how are you culpable? How do you have an influence or an impact on that person stepping out? Because you fellas, when you start getting into this consultation game and people start calling in and you start talking about men who've been in marriages for 17 years, 20 years, 25 years, and haven't touched their wives in 8 years because she just simply don't desire them. And now these guys are faced with an ultimatum. If I get caught, she's going to file divorce. She's been staying at home. I'm going to pay alimony. I've already came to her multiple times talking about I want to be able to be intimate with her. She haven't told me. I've checked the blocks on what it could be that, would justify her not wanting, like health reasons or something like that. Or maybe even, all mental stuff. But some of these guys are out here trapped. And they want to be able to touch. And you listen, this might surprise y'all, but some of these women are giving their men a green light. And look, I don't want it. Go on over there. Just be respectful. Don't bring the babies back. Don't bring no disease. You have that going on. So we can't sit here and act like that's not what's going on. And maybe just having this conversation now can allow us to shed lights on how to navigate cheating.
I'm saying? And sorry, Dave, I just want to get this out before I forget. As a therapist, last week I had 2 guys back to back that said that they were in sexless relationships and marriages. And one guy said it was 11 to 12 years. He lost count after year 10 or year 11.
I can't make this shit up.
You can't make this.
Literally,
how is it possible? Wait, hold on a second. Wait, we got to stop. How is it even? And I know this is a client, so I don't want you to go into the weeds with that. But just how is it possible to go 10 years plus with no intimacies with your wife? How does that work?
I'm gonna be honest.
How does that even work?
Listen, Obsidian, I'm gonna tell you this. I think we forget that less than 5% of your actual relationship is sex, and that there's so many other things that are happening and going on that can kind of fill up those spaces for people. And it's not always because both parties are happy and accepting of that. It's just the reality of it, where it's like kids, work, travel, other stuff, things just fill it up. And again, what Darwin was saying, this guy did a lot of those things, but I'm super interested in how those guys get into those situations in the first place. So the first question, I asked.
I think Dave would be able to answer this better because I'm 10 years in, and I could tell you right now, from year one, that was maybe 2-3 times a day. Now I'm not going to tell you how often we get it in because I ain't finna embarrass myself. But listen, I can tell you this. It can happen. You could go weeks. You could go maybe months. I'm not saying that's what's going on here, so don't try to take and clip it up. But I'm telling you, the longer you get in there and the up in age you get in there, it starts to drop.
Libido drops. And this is the other thing. Don't let there be an antecedent. Don't let there be a situation that triggered why it is that she can feel that she can now weaponize this area. Don't be the guy that got caught cheating once or multiple times, and now that's completely off the table in your relationship unless you want to give up half your wealth and your retirement account and see your kids half the time. So to begin with, what I realized both as a therapist and just anecdotally makes sense. A lot of men that end up in sexless marriages and relationships they cheated. They got caught. They did something they weren't supposed to do. And their wife never healed and never forgave them, but stayed for the benefits that came with the status and staying in a marriage. That happens all the time. And when you ask, why do a lot of guys stay? Like Darwin said, look at all the other things that they'll lose in the process. So whether it's what they looking up on their phone or sneaking off on the side or just accepting that's their fate. That's what a lot of guys have to deal with. And you know, the horrifically bad part about it is the women in these scenarios, because they felt like they were wronged or their needs weren't being met, they feel like they're justified to keep it as is. So for me, it's like, I've said it before and I'll say it again in front of y'all. They won't be exactly equal, but for me, men that cheat is no different than women that are in committed long-term monogamous relationships where sex is expected and are withholding access to that. Like, he's cheating, you're being unfaithful. And so that's a thing for me too, where it's like, if I was to generalize all women, I would basically say that, well, all women that do that, they ain't ish. Like, when you specifically weaponize this area, my view is either forgive him or leave. Either work on it or leave. But women stay because there's benefits to staying. The social status of being able to say we made it 10 years, 15 years, the ability to be able to say you got it right when most other ladies didn't. There's a lot of social reasons for why it is that women will stay, including financial, for why it is they'll stay in these type of dynamics. And the guys who don't feel like they can recover, don't feel like they can rebound, don't feel like there's better options on the other side of this decision and choice she made and or he made, that's why they end up staying. And that's why they end up going 6 months, 2 years, 5 years plus.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
A few things I want to address. The first thing is we have to have honest conversations about what is actually happening. And a lot of times we get taught absolutely everything else, but we don't get taught. And this is not, I swear to God, I'm not auditioning for tonight's conversation when I say what I'm about to say. But these things if we're going to talk about it, we got to talk about all of it. Okay. The first thing that no one teaches us. Okay. I'm almost 50 years old. Right. I met my wife when I was 17 years old. Right. We didn't get married until much later on in life. The thing that no one teaches you is that menopause is a real thing. Perimenopause is a real thing. Right. There are drops, like Jeff was saying, drops in libido is a real thing. Right. A lot of times people don't understand what's actually happening. Men specifically do not understand what the hell is going on inside of a woman, because we can talk all this equality ish we want. The stuff that women have to deal with when it comes to their reproductive issues, when it comes to literally, there have been times when my wife and I have been out on a winter's day, just walking to the car, and I can see the steam coming off of her because of hot flashes. When you wake up in a sweat because your body is doing whatever it's doing, because now the baby factory has shut down, you don't feel sexy, right? The other part of that is, right, the girl I met was a lingerie model. My wife popped out 2 kids. Life happens. And she's in phenomenal shape, but that's not the same shape. You know what I mean? We change. The person that she married was a big old fat this dude that can go into Target and say, hey, let me get the 38 waist jeans and the large shirt that I'm swimming in, is not the 7X 72-inch waist guy that she married on our wedding day when the button popped off of my tux.
Wow.
So what you don't take into account is that you're getting to know each other in every single phase of your life. And the thing that I say all the time is, when I was in relationships, but I was also in the public eye, I had a lot to prove. Because when you're the fat boy, you got to feel like you got to go over and beyond. And of course, you got to go do this. We don't have that conversation. We do not normalize therapy. We do not talk about what we're going through. And then the other part of that is we operate logically, generally speaking, and women operate emotionally, generally speaking. And so we're going fact number 1, fact number 2, fact number 3, fact number 4. We're just running down all of these facts. And if you pay attention to any show, or you pay attention to damn near any woman with 2 connected brain cells, the first thing out of their mouth is, well, I feel like. Because they feel first. That's why they are mothers. That's why they are nurturers. And so you're trying to solve a problem that is feelings based with facts. Sometimes what you need to do is go into that situation, if you care, and say, listen, I feel how I feel about how you reacted to what I did or what was said, or you took this wrong, whatever the case may be. However, I'm taking all of that off. I'm setting it to the side. I'm going to wrap my arms around you, and I'm going to say the 3 most liberating words that you need to hear right now, and I mean them. You are safe. We do not do that. We do not normalize that. And also, we also have to take into consideration the person that I used to be, or the person that that man used to be, is not the person you're dealing with now. If you're still looking at that person through that old lens, you need to stop putting new wine in old skins and expecting something flavorful. Lastly, I am sick and tired of hearing from people, both men and women, well, we were together for all these years. Neil Long famously said to the dude who was bitching about toasted oats, all we have are all these years. What do you have to show for it? Are you willing to put in the work when nobody's looking? Anybody tells you that marriage ain't hard ain't married. They might be married on paper. They might have a brass ring. They might have a big house, but they're not married, because marriage is work. It is not sexy all of the time. But let me tell you something. I can tell you through everything that I've been through, and I'm gonna land on this. The relationship I had before I got with my wife was not only abusive, it left me homeless. And I gave you could have it all. I just went out. But I wound up sleeping in my truck and washing up in a gas station sink. And I made myself a promise, never before and never again. So I created what I call a jump bag. So it was and stay with me because this is important. It was a very large military-sized duffel. And in that duffel, I had a week's worth of clothes, shirts, pants, underwear, all those types of things. Meals ready to eat, non-perishable food items. I had pillows. I had sleeping bags. And I've never really talked about this publicly, but there's a reason. And I kept it in the back of my truck. And one day, my wife comes home. She had the car. We weren't married yet. But she comes home and she says, "Hey, Dave, I've been meaning to ask you, what's in the back of the truck? Like, why is that big ass bag taking up a third of the trunk?" And I'm like, no, that's got to stay there. And she says, "What is it?" And I'm like, well, I had that bag in case something goes wrong. And she says, "Something goes wrong, like what?" And I'm like, listen, I ain't gonna be homeless again. Like, you're not going. Like, everybody that ever mattered to me left me or put me in a rut. And this last one, that succubus who I only refer to as Godzilla, I don't say that broad's name. You can't pay me to say her name. Godzilla put me in a place where I'm like, I'm never going to let this happen again. And she said, well, what's in it? And I tell her what I just told you, the contents of the bag. Now, to understand, I'm 6'1". My wife is 5'3" on a good day. And she looked up to me. She got real close, like nose to nose, like in a UFC fight. And she grabs my face, right? All 561 pounds of me is literally resting in between her hands. And she says, "David," and she's the only person that calls me David. Everybody else calls me Dave. She says, "David, I love you. You're safe with me. I'm not going to leave you. I'm in this for the long haul. But if you don't get that fucking bag out of that damn car, unpack it, and understand that I'm here, we ain't gonna make it." It didn't require years of therapy. It didn't require. At that moment, for the first time, I felt home, because it wasn't somebody who wanted something from me. It was somebody who just wanted me. And every time I have made her upset, every time that I have made her cry, every time I was not my best self, I think on that moment. I think on eating sunflower seeds for dinner when I was trying to figure this out. I think on the $100,000 contract she told me to pass up because I didn't belong in corporate America and she didn't know how to make this entrepreneurship thing work. I think about that. And that is what these goddamn thoughts can't give you. So if you love anything about me, if you think I'm so great, I am great in no small part to my wife and all of the bullshit she had to put up with in order for me to be what you celebrate. So if you want to celebrate something, celebrate that. But marriage is not something you just do and you live happily ever after. That's that Disney shit. And I'm going to pull your ass out of Disney if it takes you kicking and screaming to do it. If you're not willing to do that, by all means, bounce. But I'm going to say this, and this is really the last thing. If me and my wife go 10 days, we having a conversation. What's up? Because I'm a Scorpio, she a Scorpio. That's what we need. I'm sorry. Respectfully. If y'all, Jeff, you're a therapist. I'm not a clinician, but like, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
talk about
I
it.
need it in my life. I want it in my life. Come put it in my life.
Hey,
I'ma keep it
all right,
in my life.
all right, we good. We got the
my bad, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get some water. Y'all got this. I'll be right back.
Listen, what he said is hard. It is hard. And I think a lot of people just need to understand and know how to deal with cheating. You don't have to throw your relationship away just because there is a social norm saying that, oh, they cheat, they're no good. Now, there's different ways to handle it, and it all is all contingent on how you find out. If your significant other cheats on you and you found out, you catch them, then basically what I push is zero tolerance for that. There's no zero tolerance, because oftentimes you don't even know how long they've been doing it. You don't know whether or not they would continue to do it had you not caught them, because a lot of people apologize. They don't apologize for the experience. They enjoyed every inch of that cock. They enjoyed it. She didn't want to get off of it whenever she was doing it. She's apologizing for getting caught, not for the experience. If it were up to her or him, whatever, they will continue to go and bust down. That's what you got to keep in mind. Now, the other hand, the flip side is, for example, when one of my clients had one of his significant other came to him and said that, oh yeah, several years ago, I was drinking and I got beside myself. I was out of my mind, and it was a one-time thing. And I can't continue to live my life without you knowing, that's happening, and sit up in front of your face and act like I've just been all an angel. And that is what we call confession. She came to. She didn't get caught. You can consider, forgiveness and repentance in that case. If she came to you and confess, and a lot of y'all are spiritual, that is the same framework for when you come to God. So you should also extend that same framework to your loved one as well. Now, the way you handle that is, if your significant other come to you and expose that she had some type of infidelity in the past, and she wants to be upfront and change her ways, that don't mean 100% of the time. I'm saying you should consider it. I'm not saying that you should go along with it. But what you should do is make that person expose who they were with, how often they contact each other, where they were at. All of those things need to be exposed. You need to actually establish communication with the person that she was entangled with. And if that person pushes back and don't want to do that, then yeah, the little tolerance that you did have goes immediately to zero. Because now she ain't really trying to repent. She's not really trying to be forgiven, or she or he, whatever the case. That's the real way to handle it. I just wanted to make sure that was put out, because I think that was an educational moment to give somebody some type of decorum or principles on the way to handle it. Because I get a lot of that, like, oh, how do you deal with a cheating wife or a cheating? That's how you deal with it. So we do got a video clip. I don't know if you want me to play that, or we're going to run
through some more super chats and then just.
Let's hit the super chats. Yeah, we got So, shout out to Perception is Real 6769. I'm a high school history teacher in the inner city of Los Angeles. Shout out to LA. I'm noticing with Black youth, especially the boys who are fatherless, usually have worse grades, fight often, and have less respect for male authority. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let y'all blame it on the single mama. I'm not gonna do it.
Again, if listen, man, if we're gonna say the title of the episode, today's episode is "Men Ain't Ish," right?
Mm-hmm.
Two things are happening in this comment.
Correct.
The men that aren't in the lives of the children that choose not to be, and the men that aren't able to be in their children's lives because the woman doesn't want them to be there. Either way, what's happening is men are being framed as men ain't ish. And I'm like, hold on. You got the ladies that's doing the whole, if him and I aren't on good terms, he can't have access to the child. If I don't get a certain amount of money, he don't get access to the child when he wants, so I'm not going to cooperate. He moved on and is now dealing with another female. And now it's going to be issues with him being able to be in his child's life. It's a cyclical effect, and both parties could have a role to play. My view is the men that ain't ish in this scenario are the men that have women that want and are open to them being in their child's life and choose not to be. Last week on Friday, I had a consultation with a lady, and she was telling me how she's married. She's been remarried now for, I want to say, about 8-10 years now. They have a child together, and they both had a child, I think, previously prior to their relationship. And in her previous marriage, her ex-husband now, he almost never checks in, and he never visits their biological son. And he can. She's not stopping him. She encourages it. She wants him to, and it's just not a priority. And all the kids' needs are met with his stepfather, his stepfather and his mom in their current marriage and relationship. All his needs are met, and dad still can't show. Thus, still chooses not to show. And we have this narrative amongst a lot of black men that all black men are dealing with all these black women that don't want them in their child's lives. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of women like that. There's also a lot of women where that's not the case. And I think sometimes it's legitimate when they say this is an area of fatherhood where they believe men ain't ish and men are failing. But sometimes it really is, it's the other way around. A lot of us, we don't even know the father's story. We haven't even heard his side of things. All we heard was the loud version of what she told all her friends and family. So, that was a dope comment. But I've gotten better at slowing down and not just accepting one narrative anymore. Mm-hmm. Now I'm more so interested in hearing it from multiple angles. Obsidian, were you about to say something? My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, go ahead. Obsidian. My bad.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, Darwin, wow. Kudos to you, man, for being able to share that. That's it's difficult to deal with that, on either side. It's difficult. A lot of issues have to be worked out. Kudos to you for being able to, navigate that. You know what I mean? Dave makes a really
let me just make sure I'm clear. That ain't happened to me. I just dealt with a client.
A client. I'm sorry. My apologies. A client of yours. I'm sorry. My apologies.
He's like, hold up.
Very clear. That ain't me.
Okay. Very fair enough. A client of yours. Yeah. Dave made a really good point too about. I was watching. There was an article that I saw on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the name of the magazine or whatever, but the point was that pop singer / businesswoman Rihanna was going through some trouble online. There were brothers online giving her a hard way to go because she had recently, I believe this is her third child that she recently had, and she's picked up some weight, as you would imagine. Mm-hmm. And the ladies were upset about that. One of, Keita Rose, she went. There was a number of women that are influencers. They took to their platforms to say, see, this is the reason why we don't want to have kids with these, black men ain't sugar, honey, iced tea. This is the reason why we don't want to have children with them. Because look at what they're saying. So I said, listen. Okay.
Hold on, Dar, you go.
Hold on, time out. That was wrong. That was wrong. We having a serious conversation.
I'm laughing because I gotta get my shit done too. Don't worry, I gotta get mine done too, brother.
All right, I'll send you the details, man. You gonna put that on the screen?
You
brother. You was talking some real game, something serious. You gonna put this ish on the screen? Now I can't, yo.
Send me the details, man, so I can get them gaps filled.
But my bad.
But yeah, I have to say, and Dave makes a really good point. That's what prompted me to think about this. Is that, look, this is what I would say to brothers that have concerns about ladies losing their figure with children. This is a really, let me look in the camera. There's a really easy solution, my brother. Don't have children. That's the solution. If your concern is that the lady of your choice is going to lose her figure having children, which does happen, then don't have kids. And find you a sister that also doesn't want to have kids, and the problem is solved. But if you're, but it's not reasonable to expect a lady who has had 2 or 3 children to just snap right back as if she was 25. That's not realistic, man. It's just not. So I on that issue, I want to thank you, Dave, for bringing that up. That's what prompted me to think back to what I saw on Instagram last week about Rihanna, who I got nothing but respect for. I always liked Rihanna personally. Yeah. Her and ASAP seem to be doing pretty well together. They the way that they adjudicate how they run their household, they seem to be working for them. God bless them. If you're a brother that can't work with that, that's fine. Don't have kids. Get you a sister that doesn't want kids, and y'all go away and y'all do that. That's the solution.
Okay, so it's finally happened. This is the part where I have to push back on my brother Obsidian.
Okay.
It's not that he's wrong. I think 1,000,000 minus 999,999 will give you 4, but so will 2 plus 2. Having said that, here's what you could do. Here's another solution. That's an alternative solution. If you are that bitch maid that you worrying about a fupa or a pouch, or she has little dips in the back of her thighs when you was the one that spread her thighs in the first place, if that bothers you so much, if you don't like the way them things is hanging, I know a guy. I know a place where boobs ain't like hacky sacks. It's called the Plastic Surgeon's Office. And if you got about 20, 30 grand, you can give her a mommy makeover. And that's going to do 2 things. The first thing it's going to do is going to teach you the importance of serving. Because you're going to have to take care of her while she laid up like this. You're going to have to treat her wounds. And by the way, you're going to have to make sure that her drains are being drained out every few hours. Then, when she gets all of that taken care of, you're also going to have to make sure that she's fed, and you're going to have to pick up all the responsibilities that she now has to that you now have to pick up, because she can't do, because she's laying in the bed with wedge pillows. How do I know this? Because when I lost 361 pounds, they had to cut me from here to here, and I had drains in me, and my wife had to take care of me. If you don't like the way that she looks, and you have the unmitigated gall to make comments about what her body used to be versus what it is now, get her a mommy makeover. Otherwise, shut your cooch lickers and go on about your business, because that, let me tell you something. When it comes to my youngest, I was in the room when they pulled her out of my wife, and they put her in my arms. And when I tell you, because there's nothing more fulfilling than watching your baby come into the world, cutting that umbilical cord, and having somebody, some little colorless blob with your eyes looking up at you like, And then your tired ass wife is like, how's the baby? And I'm like, oh, she's perfect. I don't give a damn about a fupa. We can get a fupa cut off. You know what I can't find everywhere? I can't go out here. Trust me. I can't go out here, open my door, throw a stick, and hit another Janae. And my wife is a twin. Let that sink in.
Bro, what you just said, that imagery of again, I have a daughter, and I think what Dave is saying, which I love, is if a woman is willing to give you a child that you wanted, especially one that you actually wanted,
right?
Her and her body should be viewed through grace in a way that's very different than all the women that's never done that for you. You should have a lens of grace with the woman that was willing to subject her body to give you a gift that no one else was able to give or was willing to give in that moment. So, you know, of course, listen, you ain't gonna just turn to a big old house and you know, I gotta, you know, take all this time to work around and help you put your pants back on. But what the point I'm making is like, there is a space for, even in the response of if she is starting to put on or keep on too much weight, a man that has a view of grace with her is going to have a very different approach about what to do about that. Babe, we should sign up for the gym. Babe, we should go. Babe, we're going to have a trainer. And instead of you, if you don't lose this weight, I'm done with you. Like, this is the thing where it's like, fellas, we can't demonize them for, now you got these black women that don't want kids, like Darwin and the guys was just saying. Now there are a bunch of them saying they don't want kids. Then you got the ones who have children with the fathers that they picked wrong on. And then there's the guys that are in the scenarios who have children with the women they're in relationships with. And y'all not even pleased with those women either. Like, I would argue, if you set the cheating aside, the inability of looking at the humanity and the spectrum of women's bodies in this space, this is probably one of the top, for me, I think it's top 5. I think it's top 5 in terms of having such a low value and view of the female anatomy and body, especially when the woman you're judging is the one that gave you children. That's crazy work.
Right. That's the distinction. Yeah. That's the distinction there. We're talking about brothers that have children with a lady. Now, a big part of the black men ain't sugar honey iced tea is the dating single moms piece. Right.
And, hold on. We're gonna sit there. Go ahead, tell us. Say it.
Yeah, let's go.
Go ahead, go right there.
Yeah,
stand right there. Go ahead, Obsidian.
Yeah, the dating single moms piece. You know, that's been a major flashpoint of debate. You know, a lot. You know, coming out of the black manosphere, there'll be a lot of people that you know feel a way about that. And you know, there are people that, you know, Ace Metaphor, he's been on a tear about this. You know, well, brothers that are having their way, they don't have to talk about that. All they have to do is just move around. Well, yeah and no. Yes and no. I hear what he's saying. The problem with that part of it is there's the expectation that a lady with children from previous man or men, the new brother coming into that situation is to essentially act as if what you were just talking about, Jeff, was the case. So in other words, he's supposed to, you know, kind of slot himself as if he was the guy that created that state of affairs. That's the problem. Now, I rightly have that problem. Now, the response to that is, well, don't date women with kids. Now, fair enough. Here's the problem. In Black America, according to Pew Research Center, roughly 60, if I remember this right, 62% of Black women have kids versus about 40% of Black men. So we have a inherent asymmetry. There are more Black women with children than there are Black men with children. Okay. And most people want to mate within their own ethnic group. So many Black men want to be with Black women. The problem comes in that many of these Black women have children from pre-existing relationships, every so often a marriage, typically it's a non-marital relationship.
Yeah.
And I'll go along with what you said, Jeff, in the case of a brother that like Dave was talking about, it's your wife, she had your children. That's fair enough. I go along with that. It's something else when you're coming into a situation like that and all that entails. I call it the stuff of life, all the stuff of life. And many, like I was watching Ace talk about this, and well, her time is very important, her time is limited. Fair enough. My thinking is this: the issue is that brothers want a frictionless experience. They don't want all that friction that comes with the stuff of life with someone else's children. They want a frictionless experience. So there's a song by Jill Scott. Dave knows this. There's a song by Jill Scott called "Getting in the Way."
Listen.
Okay? You're getting in the way of what I'm feeling. Okay? All that, the issues with the baby daddy or baby daddies, the issues with the children, which are not yours, all of that, that's getting in the way. It's getting in the way of what I'm feeling. The brothers want a frictionless experience. They didn't sign on to be, dealing with all of that. And there's this idea in the black community that if you're a black man and you date a black woman, that you're signing on for all of that. No, you're not. You're not signing on for all of that. What you're signing on for is a pleasurable experience with that woman. Now, that might sound harsh, or that might sound selfish, or that might sound self-serving, but think about this. That same sister can make a petition in her life between her private life and her job. That same sister can make a petition between her life, between what she do online and what she do offline. But now she can't make a petition between the gentleman that she's seeing and her family life with her children. She can't make that petition now. That is the issue. The issue on that side of the ledger is this idea in Black American life that if you date a single mom, that somehow you are signing on for all of it. No, you're not. You're not signing on for all of it. There's this idea that you're just signing on for all of it. No, you're signing on for a pleasurable, frictionless experience. When she's got time, she can carve out of her schedule, hit me up, we get together, we hang out and do what we do, and keep it moving. That's what you signed on for. You didn't sign on for all that. That is the fundamental issue.
Well, what is the difference? Like, what is it? What can we tell men whenever they actually desire this particular woman? Like, I gotta have her.
You mean like a woman who already has kids?
Yeah, but she's pushing the narrative. Hey, look, I'm a package deal. Now what?
I think the entire purpose of the red pill space is just for men to be made aware of what their options are and to go into it with their eyes wide open. Like, I think if a man truly knows all that entails and knows that if it doesn't work out, he loses her and these children that he may have grown an attachment to, that he could be on the hook for certain things financially and legally based off of him playing the role of a father. That, but again, there's certain positives that comes with this that never often gets talked about when it comes to single mothers.
Yes.
The first of which is when you have a child with a woman for the first time who's never been a mother, you don't know what woman she's going to be once that child pops out.
Facts.
You don't know how it changes the dynamic between you two. You don't know if the woman that was so in love with you and just couldn't keep her hands off of you, and now she's 100% absorbed in kids, and now her identity is rooted more so not in balancing being a wife and a mother, but now she takes pride in centralizing just being a mom. So there's risk that comes with having a child with a woman for the first time. There's also some potential benefits because one of the things is you already get to see how she is as a mom.
She also got a full pantry all the time. I will say this:
the snacks be top tier.
Hey, listen, they generally speaking, the pantry is full, the snacks are there, but you already have a test trial run of being able to see evidence to justify why it is that you think, well, she's been a mom now for 5 years. She's been a mom now for 8 years. And I'm seeing my starting point, if I was going to date a woman, would have been, does she rush for me to meet her kids immediately? Or is she very cautious with that? Because if she's very cautious with me meeting her, that already lets me know the type of mother that's different than a woman who's the first time I'm meeting her, the kids in the living room with me, we all eating fruit snacks. Like on the first time I'm hanging out with her for a date. So that's a big thing to me. The fact that, what's it say? Black Dove K50. How do y'all define modern women? Darwin, you want to start with that? Because I know my
I mean, it's subjective. I mean, there is probably an objective definition, and if you look it up, you might just find that it is a woman who is career driven. She prioritizes her individual stability over pursuing connections first, and then whenever she do finally pursue connections, it's not on a traditional set. It's more like a partnership where both are sharing equal responsibility for the sake of stabilizing the relationship. That might have been a motherfucking definition right there, goddamn.
Hey, I mean, no, that was good.
Look, that was right off the top. I pulled a Dave Anderson, boy.
Bars.
Hey, look,
it's the sweater.
The one piece I would add to that is with the way that a lot of these women are talking about transactional demands and wanting to live a soft life, not all of them even prioritize careers anymore as modern women. So for me, I would add to that definition, a modern woman is a woman who picks and chooses what parts of tradition she wants and expects from herself, and the overwhelming majority of traditional activity that she wants that man to still display. But she wants it in a way in which she can pick and choose which one she wants to receive and listen and follow. So to me, that's a modern woman. A modern woman is a woman who treats it like a buffet, a la carte. You know, she's just picking and choosing what parts of masculinity she'll respect and what parts she's going to reject, what parts of his leadership she's willing to follow and what parts she's not. To me, that's a modern woman, and she could be a career woman. She could be a city girl. She could be all of the above. They typically want to dictate and pick and choose the type of masculinity that it is that they deem is what you'll hear them say things like, well, a real man would blah, blah, blah. And it's always the things that would fall in line with what she would want in her life. Yeah. So to me, that's a modern woman. The one that constantly is redefining what it means to be a real man versus allowing men to decide what that is and whether or not she measures up to get one of them.
Also, just a comment on the single mother thing. I get it. A lot of y'all are not signing up for it. But if we were to be real, I would say the likelihood of women requiring or championing that they are a package deal is highly likely. I would say 8 out of 10 times you try to talk to a woman. Now, you might be able to be exceptional and push your leverage out there to be able to dictate the terms of the relationship. A lot of guys are doing that, but you got to be able to do the work. I get it. There's a lot of guys that want these type of relationships where they can offset all the nuances.
Yeah.
But they don't recognize that there's work to be done. You have to be competitive because, let's be honest, fellas, there's not a lot of women that are completely feminine. You know, they look at men as valuable as I need you, I want you, and I don't just gotta have you. You're just an option in my life. Those women are hard. They come a dime a dozen. So you have to. Did I say that right?
Yes, dime a dozen.
You have to be competitive. So, single mother, and don't be discouraged, man. Like I know some guys that have met women who had kids and they're married years. Yeah. It can happen. So the way I try to push it is that go after whatever you want to go after. Recognize the incentives, cost benefit analysis, sort of like Jeff was talking about whenever you're dealing with these women. Weigh the consequences and then make a decision. But you cannot go into the situation anticipating that things are going to be working out. You have to recognize the patterns and you have to choose according to what what is reality instead of your dream or whatever. And if you have leverage, that's one of the most powerful tools you have is your leverage. You can get, I'm telling you one thing about these women today, regardless of how evolved they are, from tradition to modern, when a woman likes a man, when a woman likes you, I'm talking about, she will break all kind of rules for you. It's some pros and cons. It's a negative. It's a negative and a positive to that. But she will completely shut down her barriers, her boundaries. She will lose morals for the man she liked. But the man that she kind of like, you're gonna have to go through filtered through her standards. You're gonna get hit with a tax. If you're short, you're gonna get hit with the short man filter. If you don't have the socioeconomic status as far as resources concerned, you're gonna have to show up in other areas. If you don't have the charisma, if you don't have the jawline, if you don't have the look, you may have to present labels. You see how my brother Jeff got dad gang over there. And no, I'm just messing with you. I got a hat like that.
Yo, I'll say this, bro. A key point that I'm realizing, especially in light of the conversation we're having, is a lot of the ladies that run around with this whole narrative that men ain't ish thing, it's because they were disappointed in the outcome with the men that they broke the rules for. That's really what this is about.
Well, what were they disappointed about?
The outcome. Because they wanted to change them.
Well, what outcome were they looking for?
They were looking for the outcome where they take Superman and turn him back into Clark Kent. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know, there's a saying in manosphere circles. Y'all know you've all heard it. And the saying goes like this: she's not yours, she's just your turn.
Yeah.
That saying is legitimate, but I would dare say, since we're talking about modern women, in the modern era, I would dare say it applies more to the sisters than it does to the brothers. And here's the reason why. We all know about the 80-20 rule, term of art, not science. 80% of the ladies gunning for 20% of the guys. Dating apps, Scott Galloway, everybody's admitted it now. What we've been talking about in the black manosphere for years, finally everybody else is admitting it. Okay, fine. So we got that out the way.
Right.
Ladies, let's get right to this. See, the brothers that have all the things that Darwin ticked off a minute ago, they got options.
Yeah.
And like that great philosopher, Chris Rock famously said, man's only as faithful as his options. These guys have options. They're not going, settle for you. How about this? Why don't you just enjoy him for what it is? That a night, a weekend, weekend fling or whatever the case is, just enjoy him for that. That's it. He's not yours. He's just your turn. That's what it is, sister. Just enjoy it.
Now look,
he's not yours, sister. It's just your turn.
Let me give you another perspective, ladies.
You're savage.
Now, ladies,
Jesus.
Just like men have leverage as well, women do too.
Yes.
The only issue y'all have is that y'all have more competition than we do whenever we're going after women. Y'all like to target the top 20, top percentile. And those guys are pretty much having polygamy. They just basically practicing polygamy.
Exactly.
But what you can do as a woman, if you are exceptional, if you can increase your leverage, if you can increase your beauty, if you can get yourself together, if you can work on your femininity, your elegance, all of those things that can compel the man to find interest in you. And if you're willing to be cooperative and get on that man's program, then he may be compelled to want to go ahead and get in a committed relationship with you. But you have to demand that these are the things that you want before you get that box up. Because once you give that box up, a lot of y'all women, y'all lose y'all negotiating power.
Absolutely.
The more times
and a lot of them lose their minds too. They get
they get digmatized.
There's a word for it. I'm not going to say it on the air. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They get hypnotized. Let's put it that way. All right. Yeah. So I just tell the ladies, look, he's not yours. He's just your turn. Just enjoy it for what it is. You strong, independent, don't need no man anyway. You got your own. Great. You get with him. Y'all have an evening. I'm not knocking you for that. You do what you do and keep it moving. Don't get any ideas that y'all going to ride off into the sunset together and do the mom and apple pie. No, it's not yours. He's just your turn. That's all it is. And then you don't be getting mad talking about black men ain't sugar honey iced tea anymore.
Yeah, and don't overgeneralize the top percentile. There are men up there that have high earning careers, making over 250, 300,000, actually looking for a wife and kids. I think most of the guys over here, once we passed 6 figures and stuff, that's what we did. We went to go, drop our anchor and build our family and legacy. There are guys out there that is ready, but you have to present, that you are worthy of him putting his cards up, his player card up. And a lot of women, unfortunately, these days, not all, but a lot of women that those men approach, you guys are just not, you guys don't even know what you want. I think there's a level of art. I think it's where a lot of women are dropping the ball is articulating what it is that they want and standing on it and not wavering.
Are you sure about that, Darwin?
Darwin is so nice. He's a wonderful guy. But he wrong his 2 left shoes. Let's call it what it is.
The camera.
Women are very vocal.
No, get your ass back on this camera, bro. This ain't personal.
Boy, get this whipping.
You really
sure about that?
My favorite battle rapper is a guy named Loaded Lux. You gonna get this work. So it's not that women don't know what they want. They have to filter what they want through their girlfriends in their group chat.
Oh, I forgot that.
See, men operate singularly. Women generally speak down in the broad rush. Generally speaking, as a club promoter, I can tell you the bathrooms in a nightclub have couches in them and they are brighter. The stalls are bigger. In a retail space, if you ever notice, I listen, we have not all gone shopping together ever. Darwin and I went to the Cheesecake Factory. You know what I'm saying? And he brought his lovely family. We had a great time. Never once did we go to the bathroom at the same time. Y'all do everything by committee. And as a result, what you want gets whittled down or added to based upon the expectations, the bitterness, and the prior experiences, be they positive or negative, by the women in your circle. You show me 4 thought pockets without a good man, and I guarantee mathematically you will be the 5th. And that's what we're missing. That's all I want to say.
I'm gonna pile on a little bit.
Let me jump in here and say this. Go ahead. Darwin, the ladies, and you ticked off. It's funny. I was talking to Miss Letitia. Miss Letitia Underwood. I was talking to her earlier today, and she tried to act coy. She I know when I got her on backed in a corner because she started trying to act coy and trying to act like she don't know what I'm talking about. So, well, what type of features do the women say they want? I said, Miss Letitia, come on, you know what I'm talking about. You rattled them all off, Darwin. See, here's the thing. The ladies, the money piece that you mentioned, that's typically, like you said, the various taxes and whatnot. So that's where that comes into play. See, for a lot of these ladies, it's the physicality, it's the charisma, it's the eggplant, if you will. It's all of those things. Okay. And in our community, and this is something that needs to be said a lot more. So I'm I'm looking at the camera right now. In the Black community, the brothers that have all the things that Darwin ticked off early, the height, the jawline, the connecting beard, the charisma, the eggplant, the this, the that. See, they don't need to bring anything else. Right. They don't need to bring mom and apple pie. Right. They don't need to bring 6 figures because they're bringing height, connecting beard, great teeth, a jawline, washboard abs, and the wonderful eggplant. Now, here's the problem, ladies. Here's the problem. See, that's all they're going to bring. That's it. That's the value proposition, is the eggplant. And let's be clear. There are Black men in the Black community who are verified woodsmen. These guys, they can lay some pipe, but that's all they good for.
Wait. We're not going, no, stop. Verified woodsman. Yo, that's a shirt. That's a shirt. That's going up immediately. Verified woodsman.
There are, listen, black women, you watch tonight's conversation, they say it. The brothers that are broke, the brothers that ain't got no job, the brothers that in jail, that's all they do is work it out. So look, ladies, here's the deal.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to be okay with a trade-off. If that's what, because see, a lot of sisters aren't willing to be honest. A lot of sisters need to be honest and just say flat, and they don't have to be vulgar with it. They can be dignified. Say, listen, I have a high libido. Sexual attraction is very important to me. I value that. I really value pleasure and whatever. That's fine. I'm not judging it. I'll never judge a sister for that. But here's the trick. That brother ain't gonna be, Cliff Huxtable. He's not gonna be, America's dad. Now he'll be America's baby daddy. He'll be that. No, he ain't gonna be America's dad.
Yeah.
He's not gonna just have you and you be the one and only. You got to accept he's good in bed for a reason, because he does it a lot, and he's got a lot of women that he does it with. He's not yours, sister. It's just your turn. You got to be able to be okay with that. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There are brothers in Black America who make it a point of pride that they got the eggplant with a capital E, and they're really good at it. And that's all they're good at. That's it. So you need to get with that brother. Do you have all the eggplants you want? And vibes too. Oh, yeah, you gotta have the vibes. All the vibes and all the eggplant and all the rest of it. Do that. But understand that's all it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Now, real quick, man, two things. One, shout out to Sylvia Love Jones. She had said earlier in her comments, she got to be willing to ride with Clark Kent before Superman reveals himself. And that's a super dope bar. But in relation to Darwin, what you're saying, a lot of times women know what they want in the season that they want it. Mm-hmm. This is why the guy that they end up selling with in their 30s or even 40s is nothing close to the version of where they were in their late 20s, mid 20s, or even late teens. So what I think is happening is women tend to know what they want at that moment. And the problem is that can change. Dave mentioned it, based off of past experiences, good and bad, based off of what's happening with their friends, based off of social media influencers, entertainers. That's constantly evolving and changing. And this is where you'll see women now say one thing a year ago, and then you'll end up seeing them end up with a whole different guy 2-3 years later. And you're like, what the heck is going on? It's because in the moment, that's what she thinks she wants. That's what she thinks she needs. He's checking off at least some of the boxes that that's triggering her. When you see women that settle down with men that you could tell they don't respect, he checked off the financial box. That's what she wanted right now and later in life. Or because she's now a mother of two, she's now going to deprioritize the things she prioritized when she got knocked up. Now she's going to prioritize a totally different set of things. Now she wants the man that's not outside. Now she wants the man that stays home every day. But before, she wanted to be with the man that was going out all the time. So when the whole men ain't ish thing, a lot of it, not all, but a lot of it is about that. Women's ever evolving, changing desire of the type of man that they think can fulfill the type of role or what it is that they're looking for in that particular season of their life. And if they can't get it, if they had it, if they lost it, men ain't ish. Men ain't ish.
But here's the problem with that. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem with that, Jeff.
What?
The brother, now this goes to Darwin's point. So you got the brother that's earning well. So see, look, if you're making that kind of money, okay, you're making a high 5-figure, 6-figure income, you don't have a whole lot of time to lay pipe because you're working.
Yeah.
So when you finally get a lady, and you say, okay, now I can go ahead and I can lay some pipe. She don't want to lay no pipe. She don't want to lay no pipe because she ain't attracted to you like that.
No, I got. Hey,
you're supposed to be the brother that you're supposed to kick in financially and be okay with the church. Hold on, the church lady hugging you way out here. You're supposed to be okay with that. See, that's the fundamental problem there. And then we go back to when y'all guys getting the clients and stuff talking about I haven't touched my wife in fill in the blank years. That's the reason why. She's trying to get the brother with the money. He's expecting, okay, well, cool. We're going to be doing what we do. And she's like, no, because I don't really feel him like that. And that's where we get the whole thing of, well, I'm just not feeling it anymore. I'm not in love with him anymore. That sort of thing, because he didn't set off the clitometer off the rip. She needed help.
The clitometer?
Oh, yeah. The clitometer is real. The clitometer is real. Matter of fact, Dave, look this up. Meredith Chivers, Chivers, Meredith Chivers, out of Queen's University in Canada, Ontario, Canada. She did studies on this is what I call it, the clitometer, in 2004, 2010, and 2017. And what she did, I'm looking at the camera. What she did, Meredith Chivers is a psychologist that specializes in women, female desire. What she did is she surveyed women, but straight women, lesbian women, and women that are bisexual. She asked all of them, what are you sexually attracted to? Say, I want the egalitarian values, and it has to be egalitarian, has to be fair, and has to be so on and so forth. Okay. She plugged them to a machine. It's got a crazy long name. I just call it the clitometer. She plugs them up to that, and it registers the readings down there, okay? So she then shows them videos, and you get where I'm going with this. Shows them videos of various erotic scenes, okay? And so the clitometer says something completely different than what they said on that survey. They say, I want egalitarian, and I want them to respect me, and so on and so forth. I hope I can say this. They show gangbangs, clitometer off the chain. Clitometer off the chain. It's just pinging like I don't know what. Show them choking, bang. Gangbangs, bang. Threesomes, bang. Two gay guys getting it on, bang. Monkeys in the jungle,
my God,
brother.
not gorillas in the mist.
In the jungle, brother. Bang. In the jungle, brother. They getting it in. Wild monkeys going at it. Bang. So that clitometer ain't no joke. So these sisters, like you said, they figure it out that he ain't yours, he's just your turn. They get upset. It's okay, I'm gonna go in the other direction. I'm ready for you. Brother comes through that's making the money, but the problem is he does not set off the clitometer. Now what she'll do is she'll give it the old college try early on. She'll try to force herself to go through the motions, but eventually that's going to give out. That's going to run out at some point. Year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is. At some point, it's going to run out, man. And then that's where we have the problem of, I'm not feeling it anymore. You was never feeling it off the rip. You needed help. What you need to do, sister, is you need to go to get as many degrees as you can, because you're going to need to support yourself. Get you the brother with the eggplant that does it for you on the clitometer. Understand, he ain't going to take you out. He ain't going to wine and dine you. Ain't going to be no Luther Vandross. Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Can I possibly take you out tonight? Ain't going to be none of that. He going to come over there, maintenance man. He going to come over there, blow your back out, and he going to keep on getting up. That's what it is. Matter of fact, if anything, you're going to be paying for him, because he's going to be using your car. He's going to be using your credit card. He's going to be eating up all the snacks and all the rest of it. That's what it is. And I say to the brothers that do make the money, that's what we got the conclave for. Hold on a second. Where's my here we go.
That's it. You got to come to the conclave now.
That's what we got this for. That's what we got this for. That's what they need. That's what they got this for. 80% of conclave brothers got this. 80%. So, ladies, this is what you do. You go get you a good woodsman and you get you some degrees because you want to be paying for it.
Hey, but this is the thing. If that's what you sign up for, then stop calling all the men that pick that fit that bill that you deal with, men ain't ish. Because you know what comes with it. If that's the guy you want, you realize a huge percentage of them are not going to be monogamous. And even for the ones that do, like Obsidian said, let's keep it a bean. There's probably certain things you're going to have to accept or deal with on the front and back end. That's just the reality of it.
Hey, look, and just to throw a couple cents on that. Mm-hmm. There's a market for every type of connection, every type of relationship.
Just accept
Ladies,
it.
If you want to be a high value, bust down.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a high value bust down, there's a market for that.
It is.
But once you go through it,
we're in a period, gentlemen, where it's true that the times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The things that what Darwin was saying earlier about brothers that earn really well, 6 figures, high 5 figures, what have you. See, that was great before 1990.
Yeah.
That you could do that, wine and dine a sister, and he grow on me, and at first I was kind of not really crazy about him, but he grew on me. So that worked before 1990. You was good all the way up until 1989 with that. Now why do I say 1990? Because in the year 1990,
Chubb Rock jumps upon the scene. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Cisco
in the year
came
1990 to the present day, female infidelity in the United States starts to climb. So between 1990 and the year 2026, female infidelity in the United States skyrocketed 40%. 40. Okay? And the reason why is because the one sister earlier was asking about modern women. I hope she's still listening. This is where this comes in. More ladies are getting education. More ladies are having careers, and those careers afford them the opportunity to cheat. You look at some of the biggest, one of the top 10 most cheating professions in the country is nursing.
Nurses.
That's a fact. Not my opinion, fact. Another one is airline hostesses. The stewardesses and whatnot. They're in the top 10.
Airline
hostesses. The third one is barista, right?
That's another one. So the things that Darwin was talking about, work really hard, make good living. He's a good man, Savannah. See, that was cool until 1989. But in 2026, you forget that. What's where it's at is instant attraction, visceral attraction, sexual attraction, connecting beard, strong jawline, 6 foot tall, big eggplant, charisma, vibes, riz. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Hold on, it looks good on Instagram. You can't forget that. Aesthetically pleasing on social media.
Yeah, exactly. It's for the gram. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
We got a clip to get to. I'm gonna get the super chats and we'll play that last clip.
Yeah.
So whose guys that? The Kobe 42. Go ahead, Jeff.
Appreciate you. Our 44th president once said you either shape your future or someone else shapes it for you. Black men are doing just that, and society is struggling with that new reality. Great show. Gentlemen, appreciate you to Kobe 42 for this and the $10 as well. And you're right, man. My view, and this is actually across the board, the men ain't ish narrative is actually related to this particular comment to me. As more and more men make them, as more and more Black men wake up to their value, their standards, and actually their potential, less and less women are going to be seen as a viable option for them. So what's happening is, if I think if everybody saw the recent articles of them talking about the dating meetups and the single things, and I think one lady in New York said like hundreds of Black women showed up, men were missing. Hundreds of Black men were showing up. I mean, Black women were showing up and men were missing. So I'm realizing like the men ain't ish narrative, the combo of your bad decisions, and then the limited pool of men that actually are what you want, that actually want you back in return. That's what's creating this dynamic. As more and more men get themselves together and start being more disciplined, their standards are not going to go lower. Their standards are actually going to increase, which is going to actually make it harder for the ladies that are serious in the dating market. This is why it's so important to listen to Dave and all the other guys on this panel, because if y'all keep playing and thinking that you have these endless options, you're going to do decision paralysis. You're going to end up not making any decision. You're going to end up being stuck. And before you know it, you're going to be aged out of all the options that you thought you would have been able to have. So excellent.
Yeah, and not only that, about that story about that sister in New York City, we've seen a lot of that over at least I have. I've seen a lot of that over the years of going to these events where you know you could count the number of brothers there on one hand. The reason why it's gotten to the point that it is right now is what we've been talking about right now. Darwin kicked it all off with these sisters. Brothers know what the sisters want, what they're looking for. They're looking for the certain height, the certain look, the certain riz, etc., etc., etc. So there's no point. If you're a brother that falls outside of that, there's no point in going. You say, screw it, I just stay home.
Yeah. Oh, hey, King Julian. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, 20 banger. Yeah, man. Appreciate you for that.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
That just sounds expensive.
My membership ain't that expensive, so it's a blessing though.
Hallelujah.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Class is in session tonight. Amen. Philip Jameson, $4.99. As a former woodsman fella, it ain't that what it cracked up to be. Trust me, women treat me like a walking stick with a lot of stamina. It's tiring, to be honest.
Oh,
the struggle.
No, don't go and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Just like I said, just like I said earlier, there's a market for everything. Indulge. You weigh the consequences and you weigh the incentives. Indulge, but don't come back complaining, because once you come complaining, we gonna wrap your ass up.
Yeah.
So let's get to this last video and then start talking about it.
When you are in relationship with a woman who is matured, is developed, is responsible, okay, who does hold the line and challenges you to take accountability for the way that you're showing up and affecting the dynamic in the relationship, that can be really challenging for some men. And there can be deflection, denial, minimization, all of these things. We all think that we're acting right. Until we have revelation that actually we could be doing better and we're wrong. Men can do better to acknowledge that it does happen. That when a woman, even especially when it's a woman, is looking at you like, hey, I think you're off here. Hey, I think you could be doing better here. Men can do better to acknowledge that defenses can flare when that happens. And it's not always received well, especially on the first impact. I think men can do better to acknowledge and even reflect in their own lives around when someone, regardless of how it was said, y'all, because a lot of men will say that it doesn't matter how you say the truth is the truth. So regardless of how it was said, I think if you can reflect back on your own life and see, when has someone tried to tell me about myself and I made it about their tone or their volume or the language they use or the timing, or I turned it around and said, well, I wouldn't have done this if you wouldn't have done that. Reflect on your own life and say, and be able to acknowledge, when has there been a time where I was confronted with myself and I made it more difficult, and the way that I reacted to it deflected the truth away from me rather than me openly receiving it, integrating it, and making the proper adjustments on impact. I see this being denied way too often. I know this is happening, okay? I literally see it in therapy, in coaching, in personal life, in professional life. It's happening, all right? So I think men can do better to acknowledge that and to be able to look back and recognize where they have actually rejected reality and blamed someone or something else for why it was hard to receive in that moment, or denied that the reality was what it was at all. Denied that what they were being confronted with was even real.
Yeah,
so
man.
What is she referring to whenever she's saying your defense is flare?
Yeah. So two things. What I think Taylor, and shout out to Taylor Chandler, who is one of I think she's honestly moving towards GOAT tier with her ability in this space to be able to keep jumping back and forth with throwing out accountability to both sides, and her ability to articulate the female experience to men in such a way where men that are truly open can actually truly understand the vantage point is crazy. Weaponizing competence, a lack of emotional skills, the carrying the mental load, gaslighting women and acting like their perspectives of what men aren't doing in relationships or should be doing that they're not doing. This is all that she's captured. And there is a legitimate complaint that I've seen in therapy sessions. I've seen just hanging out with guys, and I see like, yo, you did that? Why'd you react that way? There is a gap between how a lot of men are showing up and how they need to show up in order to do life with women. There is a gap. And I'm not saying that we need to, whatever women, happy wife, happy life, whatever she wants goes. There's basic things that guys haven't been taught, trained, or don't care to learn or improve on that's resulting in this attitude that they're having towards men. There are a lot of men that are lazy as hell. There are a lot of men when it comes to basic emotional skills. They feel like all the emotion, she got that. And that she just can figure it out amongst her and her friends. There is an issue in our world where I think a lot of guys are still trying to go off of ancient history when it comes to all I need is to have the paycheck. And she figure out the rest with the kids, with the life, with the trips, with everything. And when Taylor is saying that women are communicating this, whether it's nagging, whether it's request, whether it's using other people, whether it's going to third parties like a therapist or mentor, there's a lot of men that's failing relationally and coming out of relationships still immature, haven't grown, and running around saying it's just the women. There's an issue here, and I'm going to put this in the category of probably more legit than not, as a legit complaint for why a lot of men literally ain't ish. But I'll place a small caveat with it. There are also women that are calling everything weaponizing competence as he don't read her mind and he don't do everything she want him to do. Because that's also what's bleeding into this, is that you have women that have very normal expectations and they're not being met more often than not. And then you have women that's trying to live as emotional dictators in households. Where if he don't do what I want, it's because he's inadequate, because he's not measuring up, because he should just know what I want. Like, those two things are often happening. And like I said, in the first version or the first category, I absolutely think that's something all of us as men have to constantly strive. The goal isn't to men get mad when women get married or get into relationships and let themselves go. Men get into relationships and think, now the work is done. I got her. Now I can rest. As if self-improvement for any man that's ambitious and full of purpose isn't going to continue to try to improve in all sectors of life. As a parent, as a father, as a husband, as an employee, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you are your literal masculinity is supposed to drive you in a direction towards your purpose. And part of your purpose is improvement. So there's a lot of men that get into relationships with women and think the work is done. Weaponizing competence. Taylor Chandler is absolutely right from my opinion. What you guys think?
Go ahead, Dave. It look like you better go.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think there needs to be a lot more listening and a lot more understanding. The idea of, like, ain't none of us savant. I don't give a damn what that Negro said. He's a nice guy, but I can read your... No, I can't. I can't read your mind. I don't, in fact, know what you're thinking. It's not all right. Okay. When we are communicating, we have to understand who we're communicating with. So I'll put it a different way. Germany, France, Great Britain, all in Europe. English ain't German. If you speak in German and I'm speaking English, we're going to have a breakdown in communicating. And it doesn't matter how loud you say, that I don't know what you said. We've got to understand where we are. And another thing that we do not take into consideration when we get into relationships, marriages, whatever the case may be, is that men are taught a very few set of skills: protect, provide, show up. That's about it.
Procreate.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But beyond that, emotional intelligence, come on, man, stop playing. Right? Consideration, come on, man, stop playing. Like the funny thing about having, and if Kobe was here, he'd tell you this as well. Being a girl dad puts you in a position where you have to start negotiating or maneuvering around the landmine filled field of women's emotions. You understand what I'm saying to you? You don't get an inch of peace when there is no understanding. And so you have to understand that you still have to lead amongst that chaos that you do not quite understand. There's a great movie with Louis Gossett Jr. Called Enemy Mine. And it's about it's about an astronaut who winds up with this alien enemy, and they literally are stranded and they have to figure absolutely everything out. But they're starting at ground zero. That's what it means to be in a serious committed relationship. And so we have to be very careful as to how we go about negotiating things and understanding things, but we have got to start practicing more emotional intelligence, more empathy, more understanding. I recommend every single couple go to Amazon right now and get a book of rebus puzzles. Because what it'll do is it'll force you with your mate to have to start solving things. And you'll see that there are certain things that you'll automatically get that they won't, and there's certain things that she'll get that you won't. And what you'll find, it's not about solving the puzzle, it's how you allow each person's perspective to infiltrate the activity, and you'll start to get a deeper appreciation for what's happening. So I say all that to say the work has to be consistent, it has to be honest, and it has to be without whatever preconceived notion or expectation you have. It has to come from a genuine place, and whatever that is, you got to be willing to accept it. If that does not happen, we're always going to be at a loss.
Thanks.
Well, the only thing I can say on that.
Also, it starred that movie Enemy Mine. Also starred Randy Quaid. If I remember.
Randy Quaid.
Yeah. So
Dennis Quaid. Randy's the fat brother.
Dennis Quaid. Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Phenomenal movie.
So pertaining to the video, what this woman was saying, I'm looking at it as a woman trying to push her man to continue to elevate, continue to excel. And if you don't really inquire with the men on why they may come complacent, you can call it complacent. Some people call it comfortable. Just ask them, is this where you want to be? Because I know many men, once they get anchored down on their purpose and where they at, and that might be a lifestyle that's only going to bring in $70,000 a year. That's what that man want to do. That's him. So fellas, if you one of those guys that you don't want a woman barking up your neck, telling you to improve, get better, all that, go build your empire. Go build it out to where you have everything you need, and then whenever you get a woman, she can't say shit to you.
Even then, it's the problem. Remember, emotional intelligence, emotional skills, being able to handle and regulate women's emotions. You can make all the money in the world. You could have built up everything before she got there. There's the part of actually doing life with women. And
I get it.
And so the thing is, they'll have the women that have it all and still gonna have complaints. You're gonna have the women where the guy's still struggling, they still gonna have complaints. I'm not saying every single complaint is warranted, or that every single perspective that they're pushing and stating is what the problem is truly a problem he has to solve.
Well, look, I'm not saying that once you get your empire and you anchor down on where you want to be at, and you didn't need her to shoot what they say, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. I'm saying that if you're going to choose women, like some of us did, like I did, I chose women when I was on a trajectory of going up. I had a direction, but I didn't have it all together. She filled in the gaps and pieces where I needed to be able to fulfill where I've gotten to. At that point, she has the ability to push me, excel. She has a justification to say, hey, look, you backsliding, or I need you to do this. I need you to do more because I've been with you all this while invested, and I'm not going to sit here and just let this ship sink because you want to sit on your ass and get comfortable. But if I've already made it to the top and I've got myself and I didn't need you for nothing, you out of line when you come and try to tell me where I need to improve or do whatever. If you can't deal with me for who I am and what I'm presenting, the whole total package, then be away from me. There's so many other women, or there's several other men you can go choose from. But fellas, if a woman is going to hang by your hip and grind with you and invest with you on your way up or on your way to wherever you're going, and she tell you you need to get better, you need to improve, you need to keep pushing, you have to take that and accept that, because that you owe her that. Yeah. Because she's in the mud with you.
That part.
So there's two different things.
And listen, man, the fellas are always in the chats talking about they're all waiting at the finish line. Well, then you got the women that's trying to help continue seeing you build and grow. So a lot of times you got to pick or choose, fellas. You gonna pick the woman that's waiting.
But see, Jeff, that's one of the reasons why a lot of women do pick a man who it's not at the finish line, so they can be able to have the justification to be able to dictate the direction of the relationship. It's hard to guide or steer a man into a different direction when he's already on his purpose. He already fully established or retired or whatever. But when that man is still vulnerable to nuances, he's still trying to get over resistance and challenges in the world. A woman can come in and impact him and say, look, oh no, baby, don't do it that way, do it this way. And he's more compelled and inclined to do that. But whenever he's already anchored, oh man, that dude is impenetrable. That's why a lot of women target men whenever they're more vulnerable, because then they got some type of say so. They can create space in his direction.
I see them target both. We ain't gonna say they don't target successful men. I think
I would say they're more successful when a man is
regardless of where a man is on the spectrum of success. What Dave is saying is when a woman gets involved, there's the emotional dynamic of what it's like to do life with a woman. And no amount of success in the world, externally in terms of career accolades and all of that, this is something that's experientially something that this is why you see so many millionaires and billionaires still getting divorced, because they're missing something. I don't care what you've had set even before her. Relationally, there's a level of incompetence that's either intentional or just outright ignorance, that there's a gap where the men that are doing what you're doing is thinking they've checked off all the boxes. And what happens is they get into these relationships with the men that's arrived. You've arrived at all the major boxes that most men are aiming for, but the one that's going to retain her emotions.
Look, and I get it, and I always tell guys that one of the most critical decisions you're going to make is whenever you're young, to choose to get out of the game and build with a wife together. Yeah, build with a woman together. I mean, y'all appreciate each other more whenever y'all invested together. Now, if you skip that phase and you one of those guys, I don't encourage it, but there's guys that are doing this. They're waiting to get on their bag. There's a narrative say, go get your bag up, go get yourself established so you don't need it. And then whenever the problem with that is there is no incentive for you to get in a relationship or risk getting married, because now you can lose all of the things that you alone worked for on the ground. And the system is not set up to benefit you. It's actually a net positive against you. That's why you see a lot of guys that's getting 40, 50, they're software engineers and getting ready to go on retirement and looking for a family. And like, you know what? I probably should have did this 20 years ago. Because right now, I don't think a woman is going to really appreciate me for me. She's going to appreciate me for my assets and my resources and the lifestyle that I'm about to be able to provide. That is the risk that you're going to take when you wait, because you don't feel like you can offset all the nuances whenever you're young and choose a woman and pick a woman from this cesspool dating market.
And when you're older, and when you're older and more established, you're entering into these dynamics with the leverage where you're thinking you don't have to grow. You don't have to change certain things. They have to conform and change to me. And I'm like, when you do that to the extreme, now you can't, like you said, now they almost can't. Because if it's, there's one thing to say, like, I need to be the leader, you need to trust, I need to get final say, to I'm a dictator and it's whatever I say. I'm like, bro, like, you clearly don't have the body of work in your teens and 20s if this is how you're acting and talking when it comes to doing life with women in real life. If you got to act that way and move that way, it's not you that they respect, it's your resources. So that's really why they're even sticking around to tolerate you talking and acting that ridiculous. Emotional intelligence is what Darwin is saying is when you build with a woman, what Dave was saying, when you're building with a woman, you're going to learn and develop these skills as you're becoming more of the man you were meant to be. But when you become what society says you should be as a man without that female presence, now that tension is going to be there because she's trying to come and make the house a home, and you're like, my home is done.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's
a lot of guys get that age, they don't want to really change nothing. And I'm gonna tell you, women is different. There's a double standard. Women can put off getting in relationships, married, having kids, get on their career. It's always gonna be some sucker or some simp that's gonna take her hand and walk her to the altar after she's been buzzed down through a hot girl summer. And I'm not saying all the women are doing it. Some women are maintaining it, but it's a very small percentage of women that are doing that because we're not, especially black women, are not really raised to be able to regulate the vagina. As far as when it comes to discernment and decision making, from the time you get out of high school all the way to the time till you get on your career, a lot of women are not built like that, and they're not really re-engaging or reconnecting with the fathers that wasn't there in childhood, so they can have that better discernment and lean on them whenever it comes to critical decision when dealing with men. So you do have a small percentage of those women, but women can do it. We can't do it and resolve ourselves from the risk of being able to get in a relationship and risk losing all. Women can do it. They can get in there. They can go and get on their career. Then get in a relationship. You're gonna have some guy that's gonna come in because we got a lot of men that are raised by women, and these women are not. I mean, these men are not privy to the tactics of some of these women in the dating market, and they're enabling the behavior indirectly by still giving them access after they done got swelled up by Tom, Dick, and Harry, and or whatever you would call it, the woodman or whatever.
Certified woodsman.
Certified woodsman.
So yeah, so there's that
in the chat because I've been seeing this, man. I'm gonna tell y'all now, if y'all connected to me, all these dudes in the chat, if there's females and women in the chat that's actually watching, engaging, and not being a nuisance, stop bitching, bro. Like, isn't the goal to get more women to watch this stuff and see how men think in situations? Y'all complaining about women in the chat. I ain't seen all women in the chat really going crazy at all. Some of them asked some legit questions. They confirmed some points that we're putting out there. Yo, we're telling the audience to send this to women as well. We're trying to make society different, and y'all wait till women get on the post and the lives to try to treat them like shit. What's wrong with y'all?
Exactly.
Isn't the point? Is it just the echo chamber for us to just talk amongst the men, or is the goal for both men and women to look at situations differently so we can actually heal some of this stuff? So
what Jeff is trying to say is, if you're doing that in the comments, what color is your pink panty thong?
Bruh.
I just want to know: Are you from Minnesota? Are there tampons in your bathroom, sir?
We know they're not a certified woodsman if they're acting like this. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Ain't no certification in sight if they act like this.
They are toothpick titans.
Toothpick titans. Like, for real, man. Like, y'all got, it's annoying, man. Like, I get men could be hurt, y'all could be mad, y'all could be stop, bro. Just watch the material. Don't support. Just support. You don't have to attack women on the internet that you don't know and don't know you.
Right.
The women that's engaging on this particular live right now, I've seen no disrespect. Have y'all seen anything? No. I've seen no disrespect from these women that's watching this stuff. We actually want daughters and wives and women that are single to watch this. We actually want that.
Absolutely.
This is the small percentage of y'all in this stuff. This is the reason why this stuff don't get taken seriously. This is why these channels get taken down, because of stupid shit like that. Can y'all for once just relax, enjoy it, and let the conversation just happen organically? Whether you or the ladies have questions, let us answer it in good faith, and let's see if we can bridge the gap that's happening. Or are you just totally cool with just being antagonistic with every female? There's definitely dudes that don't deserve to be around women, bro. It'd be annoying.
Yeah, there are some guys on there, and I would say that we have to be able to set a decorum to where we can make this space absolutely friendly to men and women, where we can bring concerns and issues up and bridge the gap, figure out where we're dropping the ball at. Because if you and I, Dave and Ali can have successful outcomes with women, then anybody can, especially if Dave can.
I mean, seriously.
I'm just kidding.
He's not lying. He's not lying. Every day I walk a very, very delicate tightrope made of eggshells and worry that my wife will realize that she could have done a whole lot better. But I feel like this, right? There's a show that shows you that love is absolutely possible. It's called My 600-Pound Life. And none of those women seem to have a problem. Not only are the men attentive, not only are they understanding, but they're sitting up there and they're taking the scrub brush and they're lifting up those fat folds and they're scrubbing up under there. They're taking and making sure they're recharging that hover round. They are getting all 37 versions of Haagen-Dazs for their woman.
Honey, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't get no ideas. Stay exactly as you are. Do not end up on that show, because my ass will not be there. Continue. My bad.
So maybe the problem isn't the men. Maybe your attitude sucks. But in all seriousness, I will tell you, as a person who's almost 600 pounds, like, it's not what you want. I'm not telling you to start bigging your back. I'm just saying that there are people in weird. There's a show. Let's take 600-Pound Life off the table. There's a show called My Strange Obsession. There's a dude who eats cardboard that has somebody who loves him. Some of y'all just might not be lovable. Some of y'all are, like, it's people out here eating couch cushions and melting hot glue from hot glue guns into their mouths. But you, who are normal with all these degrees, can't find a man.
In a sexually liberated culture where everybody's just throwing their body at you, subliminally and aesthetically. Like, there's no way.
That's it.
Yeah.
Crazy word.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm hungry. So
yes, same.
Let's look at these super chats to kind of make sure we don't miss anybody. And then we could do some final words.
3 more.
Yeah.
So I love the discussion, gentlemen. Let's keep these mature conversations going.
Welcome to the table.
At the Kingmaker, $5. I think the biggest issue is that women are settling for the men they marry / date, and that makes the whole dynamic more difficult from the jump. And then one more is him. Shout out to you again, brother. That's her best option. She gives him fewer problems. The fact that she gives him so many problems.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
And what's going on in Black America is that a lot of Black women are kind of, settling for guys that they're not really sexually attracted to. And I'm giving them license to get with Mr. Eggplant. Just understand Mr. Eggplant ain't going to wine and dine you. That's all it is.
Because that eggplant is ready to eat for everyone.
Make sure y'all post eggplants in the comments before we close out. It's like, but this is the crazy part. And Kevin tried to wake women up to this as well. A lot of women are thinking they're settling when that's actually what they can get. That's actually what's at their level. And whether they like, I'm gonna say it again. Women that have the leverage never have to settle. I'll say it again. Women that have the leverage never have to settle. So if a woman's walking around claiming that she's settling, chances are that's actually what she deserves. Bad decisions, bad
watching my content,
other stuff going on from your past, baby daddy drama, overweight, crazy student loan debt, whatever the issues or baggage are, that's what's knocked you down to the tier of the man that you now are with. Average women keep thinking that the average men that's sitting across from them, they're not on the same level, and they are. No, I'm gonna say it now. No woman has ever settled. She got exactly the type of man she could get. Women don't settle.
They're gonna hurt you for that one, Jeff.
I'm gonna say it again. Women do not settle. She gets, remember, my body, my choice. She decides if the kid's gonna come or not. She says yes or no to the ring. She has options. She gets asked all the time out. She doesn't ask men out. Women have so much power and autonomy in this country. Women do not settle. That's the man that was the best that they can get for what the type of woman she was in that season of her life.
Nice conversation. Ain't gonna like that take.
You got to stop it. Women don't settle. That's the man you deserve for the season of your life that you've marketed yourself to get. Women don't settle.
You better hope. Listen, you better hope Ace Metaphor don't hear you saying that.
Shout out to Ace, man. He gonna make his bread. He gonna do his thing. It'd be cool to do like a debate with him sometime. Or
man, listen, he might try to get you on tonight's conversation. You know, Dave.
You're a therapist.
Dave earlier gave his speech. Yeah, all of the therapists go over there, don't they?
Yeah, I mean it's a nice. Listen, you know how much money. Let's just keep. I'm gonna say the bad thing. I'm gonna pull an Obsidian. I'm looking at the camera right now. Do you know how much money you have to just hire Iyanla Vanzant, where she just sitting there chilling?
Mm-hmm.
Iyanla got Oprah money. That's all I'm saying. So again, the Panderverse is lucrative.
Is she married?
Who, Iyanla? Not anymore.
I don't know.
Damn.
I mean, you can also get Dr. Bryant. Dr. Bryant's been on there. Yeah.
She married?
I would say no, Dr. Bryant.
Who, Dr. Bryant?
But you stupid.
He's funny.
Is Ace married? Is Ace married?
Keita married. Keita.
Oh boy, y'all
Keita married?
Keita, what's her name?
Keita Rose or Kitty?
Kitty. Well, I think it's Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty's married.
You're the dark skin sister.
Yeah.
Trill AC is married. I know.
Yeah, Trill's married.
And Trill, yeah, he's married.
Trill, man, who holds it down for sure and tries to have a decent amount of balance in his responses and stuff. In regards to this whole married and unmarried question, my view has always been: do you have a heel perspective on the opposite sex that you're talking about? I've learned that there's people that's married that have horrible advice.
Yep.
A lot of women listen to married women that say, "Don't get married, girl. Don't get married, girl." Married men that say, "Don't ever like." So what I realize now, it's way more. I think the most important thing is not necessarily if they got a ring on their finger. Are they happy with the ring on their finger and who they're in a relationship with? Or even if they're divorced or single or a widow, do they still have a heel perspective of the opposite sex? So I can listen to a person.
Is the Clittometer pinging? That's a real question there.
Bruh.
We got to get to that. Is the Clittometer pinging or not?
Yeah.
Because the Clittometer, you know, it's a sliding scale with the Clittometer. So, you know, you know what I mean? You got, I mean, we all seen like gauges in cars. We know how this works. So, you know, you might have a mild swelling on the Clittometer.
Not a mild
swelling. See, back before 1989, back in the 50s, back in the 60s and the 40s, back in the 70s, he's a good man, Savannah. You know, you might have a little ping here and there, and that might get you over. No, you can't do that today. It's got to be in the red. It's got to be pinging hard. Okay, that's what it's got to be. And if it ain't that, no amount of you can't buy your way out of that. You can't fly her to San Tropez and fly her to Turks and Caicos and take her to Mastros and wine and the Clittometer got to be pinging on tilt. That's what it is.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, but is it safe to say that relationships is the only space or only thing that humans indulge in to where they don't get their advice from the people who accomplish the results they want? So like, for example, in finance, you typically go to a finance guy. You want to be a police officer, you talk to somebody who's been in law enforcement.
Right.
You want to be a salesman, you talk to a salesman. Yeah. You want to be you want to get into R&B, you want to get into the music industry, you talk to somebody in it. Yeah. And when you want to get into a relationship, you just talk to anybody who just sound like they know what they're talking about, right?
And that's why tonight's conversation can afford Iyanla Vanzant.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, to be fair, this isn't aimed solely at tonight's conversation.
No, I'm just joking.
But it is. But they are emblematic of what's going on in black love discourse. They don't want to see. Functioning marriages are boring.
Yep.
Functioning relationships are. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because there's no drama. There's no arguments. There's no fighting. There's no uppercuts. There's no throwing of dishes. There's no weapons being brandished. There's no freaky makeup sex and all the rest of it. See, it's very boring. A functional, that's how you know you're in a functional relationship in marriage, because there's nothing. It's like news.
Right.
News doesn't cover, okay, so today we were on Wadsworth Avenue in Philadelphia. Here we are right now looking around, and it looks pretty good. Back to you, Biff. I mean, it doesn't work that way.
Facts.
It's got to have all the death and destruction and all the rest of it. It's the same thing with these relationships. These black people don't want to ask people that's in a functioning relationship for X number of years or functioning marriage like Dave or Darwin. Yeah, because that's boring. And a lot of black people, to be fair, it's not just black women, because one of the things about that tonight's conversation, brothers are going there asking for advice and counsel. And I'm like, why? What? Like, I get why black women. I've been to 4 Ace Metaphors tonight's conversation. I've been there 4 times.
Wow.
From the fall of 2021 to the fall 2023, I've been there 4 times, and a Derek Jackson event before that. So that's 5 all told. Now I know what goes on there, and I get it. Black women want to be told that black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. That their problems are because black men ain't sugar honey iced tea. Fine. That's the business model. That's how Ace makes his money. Fine. I say to brothers, why are you getting up on that microphone on the dais and asking those people questions and trying to get advice and counsel? As you are not, listen, what they're going to do is they're going to make you an example. Now say, see how these black men ain't sugar honey iced tea? And he's asking this question right here. We're going to air him out, and then we're going to put him on Instagram for the lulls. Brother, what you need to do is go to the Black Manosphere Conclave, where we discuss matters like this. Is just scratching the surface of what we do at the conclave. We talk about that in private, and you get some real actionable intel. But you go into tonight's conversation thinking you're going to get advice and counsel. You got another thing coming. They're going to make an example out of you and make a highlight reel out of you. That's what's going to end up happening there.
Yeah.
Do not go to tonight's conversation thinking you're going to get advice and counsel as a black man on these issues. You're not.
There was a dude.
You're going to be made black men ain't sugar honey iced tea fodder. That's what you're going to be.
There was a dude that recently was going viral where he went up to the mic and asked a question about why do black men that don't want to enter into situations with women that have children, why is that such an issue? Right. The way those responses got spun on him to where he ain't man enough and he ain't this and he ain't that and a real man would like. I was like,
I wish somebody got the video.
Exactly. I was like, we'll have to pull that clip up eventually.
Case in point.
Like, yeah, like
black men ain't you ain't man enough, you ain't this, you ain't that. And he asked a very fair question.
I'm like, so are you
you got to understand a lot of black men. See, tonight's conversation is a black woman's venue through and through. It's not just telling black women what they want to hear. The very format is what black women want. Black women are like Baptists or Pentecostals. That is to say, like there's a moment in the service. If you're a Baptist or if you're a Pentecostal, there's a moment in the service where they do the altar call. And will somebody come forward now? And, so they come forward. See, they have an altar call at tonight's conversation. It's an altar call. They get up on the microphone and they say, Ace Metaphor, I've been wanting to ask y'all this. I've been dealing with a man for 5 years, and he's got another woman on the other side of town. What do you think about that? Then another come up, but Ace, I'm 65 years old and I got me a young tender and he's only 25 and he does it from the back and I got another tender. He doing it from the front. What do you think about that? And then another woman come up there, the Ace, I got 2 women and 1 man that I deal with and I want to know what you think about that. I mean, just all stuff that would never listen. The old adage, a gentleman never kisses and tells. It would never occur to me to get up there on that microphone in front of thousands of people live, possibly millions online later, and talk about my intimate personal life like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something unique to black women. What I found, and what my brothers at the conclave, and Dharma knows about this, what I found at the conclave, me, Shannon, Theo, what we found is that brothers want to talk about the things we're talking about right now. They just don't want to do it publicly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do it. That's the reason why Kevin never blew up talking to the black men, because black men didn't want to talk about those matters publicly. They wanted to do it privately. So we get a lot of brothers at the conclave. We close the doors and we solve the world's problems. There's a lot of intense discourse. It's just not public.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want it public. Black men are like Catholics. They want to go, you know, how
in the confessional and just say, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned."
In the closet there.
Yeah,
and it's dark. You know, you can't see the priest. Priest can't see you. He said, "Well, listen, you know, I did this."
Look, before we wrap this up, I just want to say that
5 Hail Marys for your penance.
Before we wrap this up,
and thank you, and he go out and go back about his business. That's the way black men want to do.
Turned up, man.
Hey, look, Jeff's still hungry. Jeff about to start eating couch cushions.
And a lot of black men think that because black women do it that way, they should do it that way. No, that's their way of doing it. Let them do it the way they want to do it. We got our own way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yo, real quick, because people keep saying this, man. So Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, I believe her doctorate
They keep
is
going
psychology.
to places, and tonight's conversation isn't the only place. But a lot of they keep going to these places expecting advice and counsel from a black male perspective. All they're going to get is black men ain't sugar honey iced tea.
So Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, real quick, y'all, because I don't know why I keep seeing this every time tonight's conversation or Dr. Cheyenne Bryant comes up. In the mental health,
that was a Freudian slip.
In the mental health field, you can have doctorates and not licenses. You can have masters and not licenses.
Uh-oh.
Not every doctorate, the track will lead to licensure. So there's countless people, including Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I believe her doctorate is in counseling psychology. Dr. Umar, he got his doctorate from a local school in Philly. He was able to be a school psychologist based on it. I know that a lot of times I want to question people's credentials based off of whether or not you agree with them or not. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. Like, her and I could disagree about certain things from a method, like from a philosophical standpoint, from a theoretical standpoint of how to solve problems. All I'm saying is y'all can just say y'all disagree with her, but any person who's gone on to get these masters or graduate degrees or whatever, respect it. Now you could say, but I vehemently disagree. I don't like your conclusions. That's fine. But a lot of people on that stage do have actual credentials, and they just have different orientations of why it is they think that their recommendations they're making. I come at Dr. Cheyenne Bryant about a whole host of things, but I'm never going to discredit the fact that she actually got a degree. So just kind of keep that in mind, because people do that with me. And I'm like, I got 12 years worth of experience, and I've done far more than probably a lot of people that's in this space as it relates to relationships. And people will doubt my stuff because they just simply disagree. So for me, if I don't want that happening with me, when I hear stuff like this, I got to be willing to kind of acknowledge and check it, even on the back end. But listen, fellas, it's getting late, so let's do final words. Let's start with you, Darwin. Final words in terms of just this conversation, how you felt, and what you hope that this accomplished.
All right, so I hope that everybody learned from this, and if you haven't been able to watch it all, obviously you can watch the replay. But just make sure that y'all like and subscribe. I got to tell y'all, almost 80% of the people who watch my content, I don't know if I can say the same for Jeff, but 90% of the audience is male. Most of my content is catered for male to keep men aware. But most of y'all, only 20% of y'all subscribe out of 160, almost 170,000 subscribers. And it's really hard to compete for the narrative, to control the message, to control how we're represented in the space if the guys are not subscribing and liking this content. So you'll have people like Sadia Khan.
This Joker. Now this Joker, you can come at whenever Sadia Khan. You can come at her whenever you want, because this is not a mental health professional. This is one playing cosplaying as one. So this is where we can call a spade. So
I've never even heard of this broad.
Oh, Sadia? Yeah. Me and her, we go way back since 2025.
Yeah, I don't know. Damn, that's last year. But anyway, I don't know what it is about her.
But look,
I do know every time I look at my analytics, and it'll tell you who's the second creator behind you that what most of your audience watch, and it's her. And I'm like, what is she doing? And I'm not doing. And I'm like, what is it about her that's making my guys go over there and subscribe? And then I looked at her and I was like, okay, she's gorgeous. So and then I looked in the mirror. I was like, really, nothing I could do about it. So then that led me to two things. Well, there is a sex appeal buff that the other content creators have, and it's just really no way to compete with that. But guys, I get it. I'm gonna go and work on my body. I'm gonna get my chest up. I've been working on my biceps. I don't know if y'all see that. I'm already 6'4". They coming in. Once I get the summertime, I'm gonna build my audience. And if you guys don't subscribe, I'm gonna start balancing my content and wearing I'm gonna get my Derek Jackson white beaters on and come in here.
You gonna do all your content from the car and say, "What's up, Team McPherson?"
Yeah, I'm gonna start flexing my chest and get it right so that we can build this audience. Now, listen, I didn't say I was gonna pander, but I do know sex appeal is an edge for content creators. So I'm not too far from it. Shout out to Dave. But I'll be picking on Dave.
I just have one quick question. I've noticed something that is, since we're on the subject. I just wanted to
pick Dave because Dave's the funniest. That's why I pick on him.
Listen, Darwin is a wonderful individual. He has a beautiful family. I love his kids. You know, one of his kids and I are basically best friends. My question to Darwin is, when you go back and you look at the show, can you honestly count how many nuts you've had in your mouth tonight?
Oh!
I don't know why y'all want to play with a professional. I wrote jokes for Ricky Smiley. I've written Vegas shows for George for George Wallace. Why do y'all think that because I'm the business bully, I'm not a Laugh House original? Like, why do y'all do this?
I ain't see that coming at all.
I mean, I don't know how you didn't see it coming. Every time you turn around, he's bending back so he can catch all the nuts.
Oh,
and you notice, like, I mean, he got the shake weight action with the planners. I just want to make sure y'all understand it. But Darwin, listen, I appreciate you, bro. I really, really, really do. I understand that it's got to be hard, you know, when, you know, those of us who can still grow hair, you know, it can be frustrating. I get it. I know why you pick on me.
Hey, listen, Ali, that's indirect to you too.
No, it wasn't. No. Don't drag Ali into this. He ain't done nothing.
Drag Ali in this too.
He ain't done nothing.
Misery Love Company, man.
Like a man.
Misery Love Company.
He's not miserable. He from Philly. He already knows
miserable.
this. That's why he's watching the carnage.
I'm miserable. I need company.
No. What you need to do is find out whoever Jeff used to get his teeth done and see what they can do about your hairline.
Brother, same building, brother.
I must be psychic. I must be psychic.
Hold on. They do the teeth and the hairline in the same building?
And you get a 20% discount when you mention Ask a Brother sent you. Don't play with me.
Oh, you get a 20%? I'm on my way. Just send. Listen,
a guy in my men's group last night set up his appointment for, I think, May or June. And they knocked off about $1,000 off his final price. Wow. Just like that. And it includes transportation, it includes your stay, and it includes breakfast every day while you're there, including the services.
Hey, listen, don't gatekeep. You know us black folk.
I got you.
We be gatekeeping.
I got you.
He said it's the same building. I can't even write that.
Bro. I don't even know. He said the same.
The one
get your teeth.
You know that song with Lil Jon, might get your jaw broke, might get your wig split. You're literally getting everything in the same building. This is a one-stop shop.
Now don't get mad whenever y'all see me come over here with a hot top fade next week.
Bro. Yo, we ain't gonna be able to deal with him no more. His ego gonna be crazy.
No, hey, listen, you can't do it. You gotta go with the regular buzz cut first and then work your way into it. Don't you hate when motherfuckers go get a trans? They can just go get a whole hot top, come from a ball, bro. Like,
listen, man, more power to them. In the era of BBLs and Ozempic, men is finally realizing they could do some of their stuff that they want to as well. You know, once I found out about Drake with the BBL, I said, I guess that's a wrap. I guess everybody in their mouth.
Drake really got a BBL?
You could decrease your height too.
Yeah, but you got to break your legs for that.
No, I think Drake got a. I think he got his. Did he got his abs down or something?
Yeah.
They got his abs and chest down. They call it a male BBL.
The male version, yeah. But nah, man, it's I got you. I'm gonna send you the info, and they gonna take good care of you.
Shout out to my man.
Hey.
Can I do it, Lee? Can I do it?
Lead attorney's in the building.
Lead, you gotta come through, good sir.
You guys
gotta come through the men's table, sir. You're more than welcome, man. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. See, that's one of the guys that's most definitely welcome to the men's table. And I'm gonna tell you, that guy right there, I think everybody knows it.
Yeah,
that dude is a comedian.
Oh, he's hilarious. The way he roasted Corey Holcomb, as a comedian, I gotta tell you, top tier, because he didn't lose frame at all. He was just like, yeah, so now I got to go over here and do things I don't normally do, like pull up all these emails. You want to say something else? It was so smooth and so disrespectful. What do you say to a work of art other than it is that it is?
Yeah, lead attorney is he had a mastermind. We're gonna wrap it up. Mm-hmm. I was in his mastermind a few years back, and he's responsible for the impact on a lot of my content because he put me around a lot of people that helped me elevate. So shout out to him. We hung out in person. We went to the Tyrese case whenever he was getting divorced from Samantha Lee. That's another creator who's cooking, and she's showing men how to keep a wife and women how to be feminine. But she divorced her husband. I'm like, wow. But yeah, that's it for me. Who was next to last remarks? Was it Ali?
Yeah.
Shout out to you, lead attorney.
Yeah, for real.
All them damn super chats I sent to lead all these years. He ain't coming here and send me nothing.
He ain't send no super chat. He was like, my presence is the super chat.
Come on, lead. Give me some money, man. Who's this faceless man? Shout out to Mumia. Appreciate y'all spreading a thought-provoking message for Black men. Dusty. And then we got EDC Key. Celebrate you guys. You got to bring the two A men into the room. What is that?
The two A men are here. What's we talking about?
My stuff up. I got my situation.
We here. We got this covered.
Packing.
Our table. We got this. All you got to do is enjoy the ride the men's table is taking you on.
Yeah. I got something that's gonna be coming with that too. I got contacted by a 2A organization that wants to come through to the situation, to the panel situation. So I'm trying to see if we can set that up pretty soon.
Yes,
okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That is it. We had a good time. 11:30 Eastern Standard Time in Atlanta. I don't know. Y'all in Philly, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Philly, and you in Philly too?
I'm not Philly now, but yeah.
All right. I got body by a Philly nigga.
Well, listen, man, I hope everybody that's watching, man, if you see the 4 names that's currently listed, please make sure you look them up on Instagram, YouTube. Make sure that you follow, make sure that you subscribe to all these gentlemen. We heavily appreciate everybody. We look like hundreds of people were watching over the course of these last 3 hours. And when we're going to try to get in the habit of doing really good, thought-provoking conversations and even have some really dope guests on for sure. And we're going to have some more surprises to come, man. So thank y'all for the support, but this is two things we're going to ask y'all. 1, please make sure that you like this video. Well, 3 things. 2, please make sure that you become a member to our channels if you want to actually support us every month. And then last but not least, especially this episode, send it to every woman in your life.
Every woman.
Send it to every single woman in your life. Of course, the guys can watch it by default, but that's most of our audiences. But definitely send it to every woman in your life. because it's really, really good game for them to understand the dynamics of why are a lot of us not getting married, why are men and women, why is there so much contention, is there anything that's legit, and even just showing them that this is what's actually also happening in the manosphere. It's not just the worst thing possible, just calling women hoes and bees. It's actually real stuff going on, and this is the stuff that happens in the conclave. This is the stuff that happens in the counseling rooms when it comes to men like myself and women like myself, like Taylor. This is the actual work that's being done where we're actually seeing what's legit, what needs to change, what needs to improve, and what needs to grow. And, you know, I'm honored again and appreciative of you guys for just, you know, starting this platform together. And I'm excited to see what this turns into.
Oh my gosh, Jeff. Real quick. First of all, if y'all have not started making your plans for the conclave, you need to be there because the men's table will be live. In that building in Turkey, do they also have LASIK available? I just want to make sure Darwin gets everything he needs while he's there. Just, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so about that, but they did have. They had
going for the nuts. Look at him. He can't help himself. Might as well face it. He's addicted. Don't put him down. Don't be ashamed. You eat those nuts. You love them. You take it to the head.
Oh, mouthful. So
hey,
yeah,
look, we gotta make sure. We gotta make sure Ali got that Ben Gay too.
Hey, listen, man, everybody, if you can, man, we hope that y'all enjoyed this. Y'all say that this is the type of content y'all saying y'all want us to just stop talking about the normal stuff, but let's increase the standard, really raise the bar in terms of the conversation. If this is the type of stuff y'all want, all we could ask is that y'all can support in whatever ways that y'all can. And as this grows, like Dave said, we would love to turn this into an in-person meetup and start even potentially doing this on the road. So subscribe, like, send to every woman you know, and let's build this thing from the ground up. So appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all on the other side.